All right, I believe we are live on YouTube. I always forget to do the countdown when we go live on YouTube. You give me a second, and I'm gonna start that counter. Hey, gang! Happy Tuesday still for another 20 minutes. Hi. Just pick one. Do YouTube this time. Yeah. Thank you. A reminder, we are streaming 3 different places. On kbtx.com/livestream, which also very seamlessly translates to your smart TV, your Roku, your Fire Stick, your Apple TV, etc. But we are on Facebook as well as YouTube. I imagine this is going to be a pretty long stream as these storms start to push in. We've got, the reason we hopped on the stream is we've got a severe thunderstorm warning now here for Lee and for Fayette counties. And the main concern here is for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. And that's largely what we've said has been the biggest concern for tonight. We're going to see if we can confirm that with any winds that we see in Lee and Fayette County specifically. There's more of this activity down towards the I-10 corridor where there has been some rotation, even a couple tornado warnings. No report of anything of the sort. There's some folks seeing that they were able to find a funnel cloud near Gonzales, but the rotation seems to have largely subsided, and so there's a big yellow polygon for that as well. So again, this big old cluster of thunderstorms is going to move through the area over the course of the overnight. My main concern here is 4 gusts, 60-mile-per-hour winds, straight line wind gusts at that. Really, we've only seen a couple of spots in especially the southern end of this line of storms that has shown any sort of rotation with it. So I don't think that's going to be a huge concern here for tonight. We've also got a flood advisory for northern Leon County, closer to Marquay, Lake Limestone, Buffalo, Jewett, for those storms that have been very slowly moving to the north and east. That have kind of developed apart from this system. So first up is Lee and Milam County as far as the winds are concerned. And then we'll go from there. These storms have picked up forward speed a good bit. Let me get what I believe is storms moving at about 40 miles per hour to the east. Let me confirm that. Yep, moving east at 40. So what we're going to do is we will once again do a storm track. We were a big fan of that with the last stream, and I think this is going to continue to help us get a good idea of when these storms are going to arrive. I know some of y'all have not gone to sleep yet. I know some of y'all are going to start to wake up with the storms that roll through. And so let me make sure I've got this at 40. I do not, so we're going to have to switch that real quick. So ignore all those numbers that you see there, and we're going to do this again. So again, got this moving generally at about 40 miles per hour. It's picked up a good bit of forward speed since that last stream as well. Got caught up by some of the upper level winds, and we're going to take this all the way through the Brazos Valley for you, okay? So as we go through that, here you are. And again, it's only going to pick the bigger locations, but this should still help you out a little bit. I want to make sure that we're up streaming on all of our platforms and that the signal looks good and all that stuff while y'all take a look at that. All right, so hopefully that's helpful for you. Daniel, good evening. Banquetel, good evening. Navasota, one of the spots on here shortly after 1 a.m. Says BCS at about 1 o'clock, which would have those storms here over the next hour-ish. I think that's good. I believe that. The Houston area closer to about 2:30, 3 o'clock, and so on and so forth. So main concern here is 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Right now, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning that includes Lee County and Fayette County. So Wendy's and Ledbetter, you're in that warning. Again, the main concern there is for 60-mile-per-hour plus wind gusts for y'all. I don't see any other pressing concern. That Fort Hood radar is pretty close to y'all, and I knew that would happen as soon as I zoom in. And so I think we're going to get a pretty good sample of what winds are doing there for you. And there's that latest wind sweep of what we got, which again does not look all that insane. Let's peek it from Austin and San Antonio, and that is what I think has got Weather Service in Austin, San Antonio a little bit more concerned about this. Like on the backside, it seems to be, no, that doesn't look right either. Why am I not getting good numbers here? There we go, about 45, 50. So it doesn't look quite as threatening as it did when they issued that warning, but I have a feeling they'll let that severe thunderstorm warning slide. Guys, I love y'all so much, and I've been here for 10 plus years, and I know that as we do these streams, the reach gets a little bit higher. You're gonna have to, some of these you're gonna have to give me a general idea of where that is. I can Google them and show you, but I don't. I will look up Minerva and Ridge for you. And Dayton and Anahuac. Like, again, I love you guys. But some of these I will admittedly have to look up. And again, I learned something new in every single stream. Minerva in between Cameron and Rockdale. There you go. So I should know that, right? But right now, that part of the storm's not warned for Milam County. And that is probably the most docile part of the storm as well. I'm sorry, that's the most in one time. You got winds coming through there right now, the Minerva area. That's the most in one time that I've seen a lot of places that I'm like, I need to jog my memory and see exactly where these are. So pardon me very much. Ridge, y'all, I know that one, in between Easterly and Marquay. It's been raining there for a while. Y'all are going to get a little bit of additional stuff, but I venture to say nothing quite as heavy as what y'all saw a little bit earlier. There's another little cluster here that I'll put in motion that's in Robertson County that's going to move y'all's way as well. Mr. Stevenson, good to hear from you. I'm glad to be here. Cassidy's in the other room. She's helping me out as well. And I appreciate you. Appreciate your support very, very much. Again, I'm just looking up some places, making sure that I know. Okay, yeah. East side of Houston is going to be like closer to 4 o'clock. So hopefully that's helpful. And by that point, I don't think we're going to be talking a lot of severe weather. This is moving into a more stable atmosphere than what we've seen a little bit earlier. Chelsea wants to know, is this going to affect daycare closures? It better not. Because my plan right now is for nap time after daycare drop-off. So hopefully not. Sharon says, watching from Centerville, you're seeing some lightning up there now. Yeah, flood advisory just to y'all's north for that storm that really has not made a whole lot of northward progress. Y'all seen a lot of rain. I can put the radar estimates here for y'all in northern Leon County. Yes, Michelle, this is headed for Grimes County eventually. Jessica, the worst has probably moved through Gonzales at this point. I mean, it's still stormy there, but where that concern for anything tornadic was, that tornado warning was canceled, and so I think things will calm down for them in Gonzales pretty soon. Rockdale, again, non-severe stuff, but some good wind rolling through right now, and you will see coverage of rain pick up here very shortly, within the next 15 to 20. Melissa, gotcha. Yep. Anahuac and all of y'all east of the Loop in Houston, it's going to be several hours. Jerry, yeah, I pride myself in being pretty good with Texas geography, especially Brazos Valley geography, but occasionally there's the one unincorporated community that I'm like, I got to remind myself exactly where that is. But yes, Cameron within the hour. So that's where I sit with that. Caldwell as well within the hour. Since we got a lot of new folks in the stream, so I'll put another storm track on there. I think that's going to be helpful here in a second. Kaylee says some Hearn folks are back in the stream. Thorndale, good evening. Y'all got storms all around you, so stuff will start to pop up. Yeah, Amber, it's going to be later. But again, I think that storm for the most part is going to be a lot less strong than the stuff that rolled through by the time San Antonio. Franklin, same type of deal. I got my Franklin folks in here too. My Robertson County people do come in droves when the thunder roars. They know where to go, and I appreciate that. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. First, I'm going to show this in motion, and then I'm going to put a storm track for all the folks asking for specific locations. I think that this will be very helpful. There's a little bit of development ahead of it, so the rain will probably start before, but if we're talking strong winds, what the storm track that you're about to see is for strong wind arrivals, right? So that's the main concern here. There's been some rotation closer to I-10. That part of the storm is slowly going to work northeast into the area, but largely that part of the storm has weakened. My main concern here is for strong winds. I'm not going to promise that we don't see any additional rotation tonight. I'm really not concerned about tornadoes right now, though. And again, if something changes there, we will sound that alarm. I promise you that. We'll hop on air. We'll do all that stuff. We do have currently still a severe thunderstorm warning for Lee and Fayette counties. Those are the only ones, which Fayette's not technically local, but we like to take care of our people from LaGrange to Round Top for a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust. If we see any additional severe thunderstorm warnings, we'll, of course, let you know, and it was very likely going to be for 60-mile-per-hour winds, right? Shauna, no. Really don't think so. But again, there's big wind rolling into Lee County right now. All right. So hopefully this will help with our specific locations that we're talking about here. And we've got these storms moving at about 40 miles per hour. The way this complex is moving is kind of turning up to the north and to the east. So this is a rough estimate, but this is, I think, going to be pretty good for how the rest of the evening is going to go. And I can make a bigger one that will show even more of our southern counties here in just a little bit. But this kind of highlights the main spots there for you. And again, I'll probably do this again in about 10 minutes or so as people hop on and off the streams and stuff like that. Got some folks from YouTube watching in Somerville. Some folks saying no hail, please. And what about Bremond as well? Again, that hopefully helping you out there. Bremond, significantly weaker storms, I think, than what you're going to see a little bit farther to the south. Somerville, in between, kind of put yourself in between Giddings and BCS, and so I'd place that there at about 12:30. And I think that would look good for Somerville. Yeah, Marissa, I don't know. Midway, it's going to be a while. It's going to be probably closer to 3 a.m. before stuff arrives in Midway. A seek shelter notification. I don't know if that's like from your native iPhone app, if that's from another weather app that you have downloaded, but would imagine that the reason you got that notification is because of the severe thunderstorm warning. So there it is. I mean, it's that polygon that it goes all the way into the counties that are served by the Houston Weather Service office instead of Austin. They called it a downstream severe thunderstorm warning, just meaning those thunderstorms weren't quite in Lee or Fayette County yet whenever they issued them, but they are moving through right now, and the concern there is for strong winds. So that's moving through LaGrange and Giddings. That wind is not quite there just yet, but it's close. So let's trace it about like that and say like that's where the gust front is. And this should put it out over the next about hour. And that should help you out there too. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Marissa, I feel like it's because of the severe thunderstorm warning. And yes, absolutely seek shelter. But if you're inside and you're not like right next to a window, that is shelter. That works for me, right? Taylor, nothing ultra concerning for hail tonight. The way that this line has behaved, we haven't seen hail reports from the actual line itself in a long time. And these largely aren't even being warned for hail. The issue that we could find is if we see these storms pulse up enough while there's still some wind ongoing, is that wind-blown hail can be smaller and still cause some damage. But I really don't see that being a huge concern tonight. Felicia, that's a very good question. It's a good point. Very rarely will I tell somebody in an RV, yeah, you're good to go. You have nothing to worry about. To me, that's kind of like if it's flooded and somebody's asking, hey, can I drive from here to there? I can almost never with full confidence say, yeah, you're good to go. So use your judgment there. I don't think we're looking at the type of wind that would flip over most trailers and RVs and things like that. So if I was in a trailer right now and I was in Lee County, I would just stay put. That's what I would do. But I cannot in good faith just tell you, hey, yeah, you're good. You know, does that make sense? I don't want to concern you by saying that, but I'm not going to sit there and just tell you, yeah, like you have nothing to worry about. I think you're going to be fine. I think you'd probably be putting yourself at more risk, especially if you're in Lee County. I mean, if you're in Bryan, obviously the storms aren't there yet. But if you're in Lee County and you're trying to outrun this storm in your trailer or something like that, you'd be putting yourself at more risk doing that. So just staying put, probably a good cause there. Let's see. Coordinated a watch with Storm Prediction Center. This watch will be out through 5 a.m. So we're going to get a fancy little watch to throw to make it official from the Weather Service. Just texting Cassidy. Yeah, exactly. And again, I'm happy to provide guidance in that situation, but I don't want to sit here and tell you that in a manufactured home like a shell or in a trailer or something like that you're going to be perfectly safe in severe weather. I think you'll be fine. I would not recommend moving anywhere at this point in the night, because driving at night through storms is not any safer than trying to ride it out in a trailer, right? So, yeah, I think the wind that we're going to see tonight, it really doesn't concern me all that much in terms of like, you know, blowing a trailer over. Sampling winds right now, I'm just kind of doing it on my phone. It's a little easier to point around on my finger, like making it to the 77 corridor at about 45 to 50. So that's the biggest concern as far as wind is right now is in Lee County. See, James, and that's another great point. When it comes to hail and you can get the car in the garage easy, do it. If you got a 1 or 2 car garage and there is room in there for you to do it, if there's storms rolling in, just do it. Because I don't want you yelling at me, but I definitely don't want your wife yelling at me later. Hi.
They're issuing a severe thunderstorm warning with, where possible, Austin, Brazos, Burleson, Grimes.
Austin, Brazos, Burleson, Grimes.
Waller, Washington.
Waller, Washington. So just a gigantic severe thunderstorm warning box. Very helpful.
So I don't know if you want to...
Okay, well, if that's the case, then we're going to have to do a little switcheroo and hop on air. Okay. Cassidy just got in here. Yes, College Station is going to get hit by this storm. Cassidy just told me that not only are we about to get a new severe thunderstorm watch, but here it is. There's this gigantic severe thunderstorm warning box that covers the far southern half of Brazos, southern third of Burleson, all of Washington, all of Austin, most of Waller. Okay. I mean, okay, sure. Main concern here is for gusty winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. This is a look at it. I've got this pinged. I've got it highlighted. It should show up. Give me some words. Come on. Yeah, Grossbeck, you guys are good. Yes, South College Station is going to get hit by this line of storms. All right, so there's the new severe thunderstorm warning. I'm going to get mic'd up because it just, now that is beeping everybody's phones and stuff like that. And Shannon, what are we on in programming right now? Is it that Comics Unleashed show? It doesn't matter. We're going to hop on air for at least a little bit of this, especially because it just went through on everybody's phones. There's the reason why. It's this very large severe thunderstorm warning box. Let's see. Hail less than 3/4 of an inch. Wind gust 60 miles per hour. That's the main concern here. This is until... until 1:15 a.m. So we've got ourselves an hour-long severe thunderstorm warning. Okay. BCS is not in the box because that portion of the storm, essentially like around Lexington and northbound, and it's moving northeast, is not considered severe by Weather Service. I still think we're going to get some pretty healthy wind in BCS, but the bigger concern is on the southern end of this storm. So, yeah, all of BCS is going to see some form of this storm. It's just this area specifically that Weather Service is more concerned about right this second. And the way that this is moving like east and a little bit to the north, I could see them reformatting it here pretty soon. Are you all mic'd up? Okay. Did you get mic 1?
I got this backup mic. So
okay.
The weather mic's ready for you.
Okay. Michelle, that's a great question. She says, why don't they issue watch until it gets a little bit closer? That's
a great question.
That's what I would have assumed they were going to do, but this is what they did instead. I guess because it is a line of storms and they know generally which direction it's going, so that's where we're sitting there. Brian, here within the hour. Yeah, thank you, Salsa. Okay, real quickly, what you're going to see is I'm going to leave the radar up. I'm going to just kind of put it in motion here for you. And I'll have a storm track up too. And very quickly, I'm going to go mic up, and then you'll probably see Cassidy in here for a second, and she's going to punch us over to the on-air stream. That will turn the screen black for just a hot minute, and then we'll just kind of start the stream. It's just going to look a little bit different. So if I can get this to work without glitching, we're going to put it up about like this, and we're going to have it going about like that for the stronger part of the storm. That doesn't mean that just because you're not in here, you're not going to get rain, but this is what we're tracking here for now. Okay, cool. I'm going to go get mic'd up so that we can hop on air for at least a little bit and talk about this storm. So you're not going to see anybody on camera, but you will see the storm track. And then here in a little bit, you'll see me on air. So I'll be right back.
is a KBTX News severe weather update from the First Alert Weather Center.
Hey, good now Wednesday morning, Brazos Valley. It is just about to be 12:10 on this Wednesday morning, and we're interrupting coverage to talk about this big line of thunderstorms that we've been tracking for the past 7-8 hours that is finally starting to move into the area. Now has a severe thunderstorm warning attached to it, where you see all these different polygons here. That's just where you see the overlap from the Austin San Antonio Weather Service office and the Houston office. And that next area is what is being watched for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and what the National Weather Service has also added as what we call a tornado possible tag, just meaning that this storm has had some history of rotation, and so they can't rule out a brief tornado, but that is very much not the main concern that we are looking at here. So we're going to track that very closely over the next hour, especially. This warning goes until 1:15. Not looking at a ton of hail with that, so that is the good news. Again, it's big wind. That is our biggest concern, in addition to some heavy rain. But now that this has picked up some forward speed, we're not expecting a whole lot of flooding to go along with that. Meteorologist Cassidy Towns is in studio with me as well. And so, Cass, what I think we could do now is if we could go ahead and get it out of motion, and let's get a rough storm track line from the leading edge of that storm, and let's get it all the way down to about I-10, and then just kind of point that east and a little bit to the north. Let's do the storm track line, if you could. This works too. Let's start with this, yeah, because again, this is where, if we were seeing a little bit of rotation a little bit earlier, that was back towards Gonzales and really hasn't been rotating beyond that. But that's likely the strongest part of the storm that we're looking at. That's for Austin, for Waller County, maybe eventually Montgomery County, and probably going through the greater Houston area after that. So there's the storm track and some location times there for you as well. So it's in the 3 dots. If you want me to find it for you, I can. Yeah, sorry about that. And we'll start that at about the northern end of Burleson County, draw that all the way down past I-10, and move that, point it just a little bit farther to the north. Yeah, that's good. And again, this is giving you a rough look of what it looks like over the next about 3 hours or so. Caldwell, folks, it says about 12:25, so yeah, that looks good in the next 10 to 15 minutes or so. Burton just after 12:30, Brenham closer to about 1 o'clock. And again, none of the BCS area is included on this specific storm track. But what we'll do is we'll put that in between about Burton and Magnolia and say it's closer to about 1 o'clock for BCS, especially on the south side of town. You are still going to get rain in Bryan on the northern side of Brazos County, etc., but the bigger wind concern is probably going to stay to your south. So we'll continue to watch that as well. It is 12:10 right now. This is a long-winded severe thunderstorm warning. So what we have been doing is we've been streaming online. We're trying to interrupt as little on-air coverage as we possibly can while continuing the stream and pointing you back to that. It's at kbtx.com/live stream as well. So if you've got a smart TV, Fire TV, Roku, anything like that, that KBTX app will put you right to this streaming coverage, as well as on Facebook and on YouTube as well. So those are the 3 different things that we're at, as well as being on air for those of you with antenna. But we are, I think, pretty quickly going to get you back to your regular programming, just because this is just a big, all-encompassing severe thunderstorm warning that just includes the potential for some strong winds to go along with that. So if we see any bigger reason to hop back on air, if we get a new warning issued, if we actually do see a little rotation.
NWS is monitoring a little area of rotation near Giddings.
There you go.
And just outside of Washington County. No current warnings, but we can go ahead and do a little bit of it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll drive here for just a second.
All right.
And assuming it doesn't mess with, yeah, okay, there we go. I forgot this mouse wheel is pretty sensitive. Okay, so I zoomed in super far there. And now we're back. Okay. Goodness. All right, so let's pull up velocity here and see what we're looking at. So say a little bit of rotation near Giddings. Yeah, so what we're looking at, and we'll take that off. What we're looking at is this little area right here just to the north and east of 77 and 290. And this is a pretty common thing with these widespread lines of thunderstorms is that you get what we call little inflow notches. And that's just where sometimes you can get a brief little spin up and maybe something tornadic to come. And instead of that straight line wind damage, you get the inflow and the outflow to kind of tighten up and rotate a little bit as it's moving east. So this is in between Giddings and Carmine. And there's a little bit of enhanced wind right there. Again, clocking at about 55 on one side of it. And I'm going to pull that right back up again. So that would be our biggest concern right this second, is that if we do see anything spin up here, this is about where it would be. I'm going to also look and see. So there's nothing really there on shear profiles. So that's generally good. That is not like ultra concerning for me. And obviously not enough for them because they haven't issued a tornado warning, but they just said that they're keeping an eye on it. So a little bit of strong wind, like right along Highway 77 and now getting close to the Lee and Burleson County line. And we see a little bit of bowing out there in northern Fayette County as well, kind of closer to Round Top, where some stronger winds are going to be rolling through for you. So Burton, Giddings, Ledbetter, we're going to be keeping an eye on this for you. Carmine as well, over the next 20 to 30 minutes. I'm going to put this in motion. I had it over the last 2 hours. Let me just show you the last about 30 to 45 minutes. Because what we're seeing is generally it's moving east, and it's curving up to the north and east a little bit too. So west side of Caldwell, you're about to get in on the rain too. But the main concern is this little area where it just kind of looks a little bit less organized. It doesn't look quite as pretty, like that bowing out of the cell structure. Just looks like there might be a little bit of just area to watch, generally right there. So east of Giddings, kind of in between Giddings and Carmine, and then southeastern Lee County, closer to getting closer to Lake Somerville too. Okay. So, like I said, this is a very long warning. It is until 1:15. Most of BCS technically not included in this. On the south side of town, Milliken is as well, and I think that gets all the way back out to about Southern Point, technically. But BCS is going to be getting in on some of this rain and thunderstorm activity as well. But what I think we are going to do, and knowing full well we may have to hop back on air here in just a little bit, we're going to continue this on the stream. Lee County folks, especially if you're east of Giddings, we're going to be watching that little area closely for you. But it's generally just all of this. Again, it's until 1:15. So for the next hour, we've got that big severe thunderstorm warning, and other counties have been put into a watch as well. This is what we're watching through the night. So what we will do is step aside on air, get you back to regular programming. But if we need to hop right back on, if we do see something that warrants getting back on air, especially in terms of any rotation, we absolutely will. Otherwise, we're going to continue this on Facebook, YouTube, and on kbtx.com, where you will get the exact same information here from us. We're just trying to, again, folks who are up at night and are tuning into CBS to watch CBS programming when we get back to that, unless we see a new warning here issued. So stay with us here at KBTX. We're here to keep you and your family safe.
This has been a KBTX News
just gotta switch over to your box.
Okay, cool. I appreciate you doing that. All right. Okay. Check, check. Mic. Cool. That appears to be working. We got a lot of fancy new gadgets in here, and we are still making sure that we know how to do everything. Which the answer is no, we do not know how to do everything. But we know how to do most things. We know how to do enough things to get us what we need as far as getting the information out. I'm trying to find the audio page here. Goodness gracious. There it is. Okay, got it. That is working, and that looks good. Okay, very good. All right, that was the latest look at radar. I've got a couple of things here that I'm watching. Now let me get my bearings here just real quick again. Get back on the Fort Hood radar, and in a second we'll look at that BTU radar on campus as well. But yeah, that's just a really big warning box, man. And I'm going to take that out again. Round top, if there was any rotation for y'all, it is past. I mean, there's still some big wind rolling through, but I'm not concerned about tornadic stuff for round top. Y'all are still under severe thunderstorm warning again, so you could see some severe winds, but like the really severe winds that you would get even from a weak tornado, I'm not really concerned about. Caldwell 36 and 21 is getting in on some rain as well. All right. Sorry, I've got so many tabs open, y'all, that I'm trying to just use one. Okay. Okay. So we got that. I'm going to post that real quick while we're sitting here. I'm going to put that back in motion here for you just to kind of get y'all a general picture where it's going. It's going east and a little bit to the north. We have not seen any confirmed severe wind gusts yet. We'll get some better observations, obviously, in Brenham. We have that TxDOT cam, the trusty TxDOT cam that has been great. Yeah, round top. I don't know. Is my mic working? I think I just spoke about round top. Y'all, again, they're still under severe thunderstorm warning. The big wind is rolling through right now, but I'm not concerned about anything tornadic rolling through round top. So I don't know if it's a delay, but Franklin, y'all are fine. Just rain and rumbles. Calvert, same thing. Tanya said it started raining in Hearn. Just typing up this update real quick on my telephone. From the stream at 12:20. Straight line wind gusts, 260 miles per hour. Okay. Mumford, rain's going to start there for y'all pretty soon. Y'all are not technically under a warning, but it is going to be pretty heavy. The rain is going to be heavy first, and then the wind will come after that. Radar's filling in pretty good for Burleson County, so I feel good about just... For the most part, it's good old-fashioned rain with a good little gust front attached to it as well. When we get just a little bit closer to this stuff, getting into BCS, I'll switch over to our first alert radar, the one on campus, and we'll get a really good idea of what the wind looks like. But still sampling here with our Fort Hood radar, some enhanced winds about 50, maybe even up to 5 miles per hour, right at the Lee and Burleson County line. And again, I don't see anything super threatening. I'm going to delete that. Anything super threatening on our velocity signature. I'd like it to be a little bit cleaner of a presentation there. Like there is still some what we kind of call inflow notches where there's maybe just a little bit of tightening up. But I don't see anything like very concerning in terms of anything above. I mean, concerning in that, we could still be looking at 55 up to 60 mile per hour wind gusts. Absolutely. But more than that, like anything tornadic, I don't see anything super concerning. But the area that I would say that we need to watch the most is kind of about like right here. So Western Washington County. And that's not to get you super worried. It's just to alert you that that's kind of the area that I'm watching right now. Got a report from a ham operator that says that the rain is falling at a rate at about 4.72 inches per hour in Lincoln. There in Lee County. Overall, the winds are low, though, at about 25 miles per hour. There was, just before that, a gust of 44 miles per hour in LaGrange. That's the strongest wind we've seen closest to us. Maggie says wind's pretty crazy in Round Top right now. Yeah, I mean, the storm's rolling through as we speak for y'all. Next little area to watch, again, these little notches that you see kind of right here. And again right there. That's where sometimes you can see brief little spin-up tornadoes. And when I say brief and little, that is still sometimes has the capability of, pushing out like 100 mile per hour winds. But for the most part, everybody else is not going to see that. It's just an area to watch. See, yeah, this is a perfect way to look at it. So this is our little shear vector, just seeing like if there's any low level spin. And the computer just says, you know what, right along that leading edge of it, there's a little bit of rotation. Still nothing to be alarmed about. Just something that we're watching as it moves into the area. BCS around 1 o'clock. Snook a little bit before that, about 12:45. So within the next 20 to 30 minutes. Navasota around the same time. Like a little after 1. RV community concrete block building. Yeah. That would make you a little bit safer. Again, this is the type of wind that I think for the most part, I'm not super concerned about folks in RVs and trailers and manufactured homes and stuff like that. But I said this, it was either at the start of this stream or it was towards the end of the last one. I am in almost any storm. I'm not going to tell you, yeah, you're 100% good to go in a dwelling like that. I don't want that responsibility on me. But at this point, if you are in a trailer, instead of trying to get the truck and hitch it up and go somewhere else, I think your probably best bet is to just kind of ride that out. That's not my biggest concern. Taylor wants to know on YouTube, Navasota going to get any big winds? Yeah, I mean, some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts is possible. That's what the severe thunderstorm warning is for. So that is about as strong as we have seen wind gusts throughout the day today. So that is enough to cause damage in some ways. Well-established homes and well-established trees and stuff like that can typically take 60 miles per hour pretty well, but that's just the baseline for when you start to see damage, at least in a minor way, is at 60 miles per hour. So that's what the severe thunderstorm warning is for. BCS not technically included in it, but it is a possibility. Somerville, I think I would expect at least an inch, but it would not shock me at all if this is going to be more of like a 2 to 3 inch rain dropper across a large portion of the area at this point. Because it's moving quicker than it was earlier, but it's still dropping some very, very heavy rain. Willis, it's going to be a while. Probably not until closer to about 3 o'clock. Deanville, you've got some storms rolling in sooner rather than later. Believe y'all are technically included in this warning, in this big monstrosity of a warning that covers that potential for wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. And I think that is certainly a possibility. Deanville, right now, you are... If you're not experiencing the worst of it just yet, you will be here pretty soon. And again, it's this little area, which I'm going to change that to there. Yeah, and that doesn't really tell you much. That just kind of tells you that there is a little bit of inflow into the storm. So, again, stop me if you've heard this before, but we're looking at some a little bit of very disorganized rotation around Burton in a couple of different spots. Very unlikely that we are looking at, a half dozen different tornadoes forming, anything like that. But I would like to see that get a little bit more straight line and not quite as rotating as it pushes off to the north and to the east. So again, that's not to say that we won't see a quick little tornado warning issued here, but I don't see anything imminent. But where I am watching this is in a line from Burton to about Lyons. But remember that strong wind kind of stretches back up into other parts of Burleson County too. And unfortunately, that Caldwell Municipal is not working great right now. In fact, it's not working at all. So they're like anywhere from 45 to 55 is what I'm sampling here. Yeah, Alicia, that's the general idea, is that we do expect this to kind of generally weaken as it moves east. In fact, that was part of why we weren't 100% confident that we would see 100% coverage of rain tonight, is because it was starting to weaken as it moved east a little bit earlier this evening. It's found a little bit of renewed strengthening, just a little bit. Brenham Live Camp's probably pretty quiet right now because that's at 36 and 290, I believe, and storm's not there yet. So, very little hail concern with this. Not zero, but very, very low. I think the two main things that I would be most concerned about at this point is a brief spin-up tornado, but really the vast majority of us, if we see any wind issues tonight, it's going to be straight line. And where you see those brighter red colors is where the bigger wind concern is. So that's like moving out of Lee County now and into Burleson County, into western Washington. So the stronger wind is just about to Lake Somerville, like the leading edge of that gust front. Lions after that. Seven miles south of Burton, getting some strong wind. Thank you for that report, you guys. Caldwell Lions, like nowish. Caldwell now, Lions next 10 to 15. Brandon, probably for an hour or two. And then there's some rain that's behind it as well. But it could be a good solid hour before the storm gets from one end of the county to the other. No problem, Andrew. There was one cheeky model that really wanted stuff to redevelop tomorrow afternoon. I would be pretty surprised if we did. Now, this is all going to move out quick enough to where if we get some sunshine and some additional fuel for the atmosphere, like we totally could see some stuff pop up. I just don't really see it. Here's a future radar for the rest of the evening, and I'm going to show you, see if it still is cheeky. This updates every hour. Keeps us cloudy through the morning, and then tries to spark up. See, yeah, this looks a lot more likely to me. Earlier today, it had all those thunderstorms pushing off to the east, and then a few more trying to rebound and spark back up over the course of the afternoon. That looks a lot more likely to me. Yes, Franklin's going to get some rain. I'm not super worried about severe wind with Franklin, but yes, y'all will get some of this. This is another view of forecast radar. This I think I could see as well, especially like east of I-45, maybe getting another round Wednesday afternoon. But I think most of us are done with the widespread rain as far as what has been a very rainy pattern each afternoon. You could see some pop-ups additionally, but I think this is the last that we're going to see of really, really widespread rain for a hot minute. End of this weekend looks interesting-ish, but it's a ways out, and I'm not really biting on that yet. Ollie's in Birch Creek near Lake Somerville. Says the wind is starting. Yep, it's if not now, very soon. A little bit of development now closer to FM 50. Like Cooks Point, folks, some heavy rain moving in, and so that's going to move kind of generally northeast. So Smetana, Benchley after that, Lake Bryan area. High wind and flooding for at least the short term, yes, is the main concern. That's one of the biggest reasons why we're on the stream right now. Okay. Well, that doesn't look fantastic. Just looking at the latest velocity there. Just north of Burton. That is where there might be a little something trying to form. And that would be headed toward Gay Hill. Let me just move that just a little bit. Let's put that over like the last 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, that Burton South.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Picking up like 66, 70 miles per hour winds.
Okay. I think we have a Burton viewer in either Facebook or YouTube that was saying the wind was picking up there. But yeah, those are the two chief concerns for Bryan College Station over the next 2 to 3 hours. Is some strong wind initially, and then maybe some residual flooding after that. I think by the time we get to the morning drive, it's not going to be a huge concern. All right, we're watching this one closely. That's the most compelling case so far I've seen for any potential rotation that's in between Burton and the south side of Lake Somerville. And that's the last 15 minutes. Let's do it over the last 30, just so it looks a little bit more fluid. Yeah. See if we can get even. Yeah. So probably passing just northwest of Long Point and then northwest of Gay Hill, getting close to the south side of Lake Somerville. Yeah, there's a little bit of rotation there. A little bit also worth watching in between Friendstadt and Lyons too. Again, this is nothing like organized that we're looking at here, but there could be some enhanced wind, like in excess of 60 miles per hour, closer to 70 plus. Right along Highway 36. From in between Friendstadt and Lyons now, and then on either side of Lake Somerville. So I guess west of 36, I apologize. So Somerville, nothing like immediate that I'm worried about right now. But that rotation is now closer to Highway 36. It's kind of that whole area from about Brenham to Davidson. Hey, Katie, do you have, by any chance, that Brenham TxDOT cam that we've been looking at for the past like 2 weeks? Our good luck charm over there. I might have turned my IFB off. No, I have it on. Okay, then. Calvert? Caldwell? Okay, I'll pull that one up. Let's put that on screen too. I'll show that. I'll pull that up for just a second. We are keeping an eye on that. Washington County. And then along 36 back up to Lyons. I don't see anything super threatening. Close to 976 in Caldwell. High winds are starting. So southwest winds here in town. Obviously windier and rainier there in Caldwell. That's our Burleson County live eye view. Yeah, we got a couple of TxDOT cams that we look at from time to time, and our most useful one in Brenham as these gust fronts have been rolling through is at 290 and 36. And right now it looks pretty quiet. Okay, got to get back to... Hold on. Ooh, Dwight, save a seat for me in Cancun. Will you save a drink for me? I got plans to be there a little bit later. I wish it was tonight that I could just fly in. Where are you at, if you don't mind me asking? You don't have to be secretive. Or, I mean, you can be secretive. You have every right. Snook. I know I said 20 minutes ago, but it's probably going to be another 20 minutes. I hate to do that. Maybe more like 10, 15. It's now along and east of Highway 36. And again, what we're looking at here, I think actually bodes well for us to not really see any tornadic activity, but on the leading edge of this, and like especially in and around Brenham, are these little inflow, what we call inflow notches, very affectionately. Just means that in addition to the wind that's being pushed out, you're also seeing the unstable air trying to feed back into the storm, and sometimes if that comes together in the right way, you can get a brief little spin up. But I think more than anything, and what that often just translates to is just little balls of enhanced straight line wind that can make the leading edge of the storm a little bit more damaging. So That's one of the biggest reasons that severe thunderstorm warning was issued. It's mainly for strong straight line winds, but we're going to watch that. And put this back over the last hour and just look at it and loop for you. It looks a little less organized than it did a bit ago. Yeah, Brenham's where my biggest wind concern is right this second. Brenham from 36 and 290 all the way back to Lake Somerville. Okay, Brooke, that's good to know. Appreciate that. Natty, no problem. These are moving northeast at about 40. And because it's been a minute, we'll fulfill our quarterly obligation of a storm track. Yeah. That seems to be just a thing that you kind of expect in Cancun nowadays. Unless you can get up far enough north, closer to Playa Mujeres, where the sargassum's not quite as bad. Really? Okay. Can you put it in PCR1 and I can just punch it up? Okay. Here's the storm track while we do that. We do have a live look over Brenham here in just a second. Brad, yes. Once the leading edge of the storm passes you, the severe threat is essentially done. It gets stable really quickly. The heavy rain continues after that. But yeah, the severe threat is done. That's the latest look at the storm track. Okay. I thought that I knew how to punch up. Hang on. I can do this. Router 2. We got the instructions earlier today. Okay. Sure. All right. Yeah. So there's the latest storm track. So here's router 2 util 82, right?
Yeah.
Router 2 util 82.
No.
No.
So you're going to here. There. Go down a page. And you're going to do PCR1.
To util 82. And then, you know what else I can do? Yeah, there you go.
And now it's like, but your mic will slow down.
Right. Okay, thank you. Woo! Okay, so this is what you're looking at there. And you can see it on the top of your screen. Oh, no, you can't see it on the top of your screen. I think the stream... No, it is. Okay, sorry. Amber, no, not really. This is Brenham. This is 290 and 36, where it was just quiet until the past 2 or 3 minutes. You got the storm rolling through there in Brenham now. The last time that we just kind of hung out on this live iCam, or text.cam, eventually the storm knocked out this camera. That was not this past Tuesday, but this was a couple weeks ago. I'm hoping that this is not bound for a similar fate. I can't tell. Is that somebody that's just kind of stopped on the highway? No, I don't think it is. I think that's just a glimmer from the thing. So yeah, there's still people driving. Madisonville, it's going to be a minute. Closer to about 2 a.m. All right, so we'll look back at that in just a little bit. We'll keep an eye on that. So there's a new storm track for you. Montgomery, I would say closer to 2 a.m. for y'all as well. West side of BCS is starting to get in on some of the rain. It would not shock me if we start hearing some thunder here at the station here pretty soon. Let's get the lightning counter back on. Oh, did it really? Did it just go out? Man, we have a perfect track record of knocking that camera out. Okay. No, because I don't want to start burping on stream. Otherwise, I'd ask for Dr. Pepper. But thank you. I'm good. Uh-oh, we got some reports of some power outages in Brenham. We lost that TxDOT cam. I assume either because of lightning or wind. And like I said a little bit earlier, my biggest concern for wind was rolling through Brenham. Lightning starting to look more bit disorganized, keeping an eye on potential for brief spin-ups or damaging winds along the leading edge. However, as the line starts to slow down and stall, our attention will shift to monitoring the potential for flash flooding. Okay, that's about what we expected. That is good news in terms of wind damage. I mean, there's still a pretty good little gust front that is just about to snook and will be in BCS a little bit after that. So within the next about 30 minutes, we're getting to BCS. I-45 and OSR, probably another 2 hours, honestly. Maybe a little bit quicker than that. This is kind of just a goofy looking line of storms at this point. Yeah, so about another 2 hours. North Solch got you there at about 1:45. I would even say closer to 2 o'clock. And then somebody asked about Huntsville as well. Probably about 2:30. Riverside closer to 3 a.m. Yeah, Amy, it's a big storm rolling through Brenham right now. Again, things should start to slow down for y'all within the next 15. You got a pretty decent pocket of strong wind there in between Brenham and Gay Hill. But it actually, to me, it looks less threatening than it did a little, about 15 minutes ago.
NWS was talking in the chat saying that the lines started becoming more disorganized. Did you already see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I appreciate it. Yeah, the ads on YouTube, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I might be able to on severe streams. I might be able to turn the mid-roll ads off. I will work on that for next time because I think if I excuse me, I think if I turn that off right now, I would potentially stop the stream. But that's a good point. I'll try to work on that for next time. Downtown Brenham, yeah. So we've got a few of y'all saying the power is out in Brenham now. There's plenty of thunder and lightning coming with these storms too. Yeah, we got a lot of Brenham folks in the chat saying that the power is out now, and that TxDOT cam that we had at 36 and 290 also appears to be out. Franklin, y'all are good. Just rain and rumbles. Y'all might get clipped on the very north side from some of the slightly stronger winds, but no warnings for y'all. I don't expect any. Eventually, rain and maybe a quick gust of wind coming your way within the next 15 to 20. No, no tornado in Bryan. Like we're gonna get some wind here within the next 30 to an hour. But no, we're not talking tornadoes. There are still a couple of little random, just disjointed areas of rotation, but I don't think that this cluster is beefed up enough anymore to warrant these brief little spin up tornadoes. I think the biggest thing is, and what we're seeing in Brenham right now, and what somebody else said in Burton, I believe, is wind enough to maybe knock out the power and maybe cause at least some minor damage. So that's my biggest concern. Navasota, within the hour, it's going to be y'all's way. Yes, it will weaken before it gets to Norman G. Still, I still wouldn't rule out a severe wind gust that way, but I don't think that's going to be something we need to worry about by that time. I think widespread 1 to 2 inches looks pretty good right now. Let's look at, while we're sitting here, and I want to also look at the campus radar here in just a second too. Let's do observe precip. Let's take this out and let's throw that in. So generally, it looks like we're doing less than 1/10 of an inch, but like where you see these quick little pulse ups is where it's throwing in, like, yeah, this is more like 2 inches. Where you start to see the greens is where it's picking up like 1.5 inches plus. So I think for the most part, we're talking 1 to 2 inches. The flooding happened like west of 35. That's pretty good, though, if you want to fill up the lakes and rivers up that way. That looks good for the Edwards Aquifer. I'll tell you that much. Miranda says it's hitting Somerville now. Tunis starting to get in on some rain. All right, what I am going to do. Storms are definitely within range of the BTU radar now, our first alert radar on campus. Let's know about the wind coming towards Benchley. It's a great way to look at it. Here's our first alert radar, the higher res one, the one that comes in instead of getting data every 5 to 6 minutes, we get it every 1 to 2. And what we will do now, okay, so look, that's a great way to look at it. So Benchley, not really big wind coming your way. You may get a little bit of wind after the fact, but it looks like the wind that we are sampling that's moving through Snook or into Snook now and Brazos County after that is generally 40 to 45. Let me see if I can poke around in like the bright spots. Yeah, 30, 35, 38. Yeah, so I would say 40 to 45. And again, the nice thing about having this one on campus, this peers really low into the atmosphere and gives us a really good idea of what kind of winds you're looking at. Natalie, absolutely. It's my pleasure. Thank you for saying so. Downtown Brenham starting to slow down a little bit. Good deal. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going? You're a little early.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep anyway.
Welcome. Yeah. Well, you didn't get wet,
I didn't.
so that's
I
good.
didn't. And my dog's not freaked out yet. So
Good.
she'll freak out.
Let
by
the
herself.
dog out. It is that time. If you were up in BCS, it's probably time to let the dog out now.
Yank him off the couch if he got to.
Yeah, that you heard it here first from meteorologist Kaylee Thomas. She said, "Let the dog out now, right now. Say, get up."
And then get the towel ready for later.
Yeah,
'cause you'll need
and maybe some Benadryl.
it. Gotcha. I'm gonna get logged in and all that good stuff. And
Okay,
You let me know.
take your
what
time.
you want me to do.
Cool. Thank you, ma'am.
You got it.
Somerville, y'all. Let's see. You should not be in the clear per se, but the worst of the wind should be moving out as we speak for Somerville. Hempstead stuff is rolling in now-ish, so the next 10 to 15 minutes. Charles says it's starting to slow down in Bastrop. Man, Bastrop, at this point, y'all got some good sleeping weather in Bastrop. Jill, are you on the east side of Brenham? Because we got a lot of Brenham folks in here, and a few of y'all are saying it's starting to calm down a little bit. I'm not really buying that big bright speck there on velocity. Brenham, I mean, same type of deal. Like the worst should be leaving there pretty soon. You're on the east side. There's still some strong winds in between y'all and Chapel Hill, and then Early Wine. I don't see anything super threatening beyond what y'all are already experiencing. I think we are just moments away from hearing rain on our rooftop cam, or our rooftop here at the studio. Doesn't look like it's raining on campus just yet. I miss our Stella Live Eye cam. That was a good one out by Relis. Let me go and look at another Live Eyes. Calm down, a good deal in Caldwell too. Doesn't look like it's raining in downtown yet either, in downtown Bryan. Gotta be soon. Gotta be real soon. Kelly says, pouring rain in Gauze. That's a familiar story, is it not, Kelly? Dana says, the wind has arrived in Snook. So that means not long after that will be the Brazos River, and not long after that will be like South College Station. I think we're about to see a big jump in stream numbers on Facebook. Rachel says still pretty windy in Brendam near Blinn. Tanya, yeah, it's not. I don't think y'all are going to see a whole lot of big wind in Hearn. If you are, it's going to be here over the next 30 minutes or so. Rain's going to last in Bryan probably for at least an hour. The heavier rain won't last that long, but at least some light to moderate rain for an hour after that first big round that rolls through. So next couple hours. JB's getting the heavy rain in Benchley. I see the lightning. We haven't turned that on in a minute. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. It's about to wake up a lot of people. What's that one you're looking at? Where is that? Is that 6? Oh, and 485? Look at there. 6 and 485. That's by the Loves, I believe. In the hotel. In the Mexican restaurant. That's a Loves, right? Yeah. I've seen a lot more water on that highway. Yeah, it sounds like we got a lot of folks with power out in Brenham, unfortunately. Now got hit pretty hard. With, again, what I imagine is straight line wind, but... Musso's at least got the power back on now there in Brenham. Another look at the first alert radar. Let's look at winds now. So there's what we're looking at, right? There's the big wind that's rolling in here. I'm gonna get that off a loop. And that's what's rolling into BCS. There's 47. Let's see if I can get anything a little bit higher than that. We can keep it that. I mean, it's going to be rowdy, but it shouldn't cause a ton of damage. But yeah, that's what... I'll look at just regular velocity. I don't think we'll see anything much different there. Might be coming in a little bit higher. Yeah, see, I don't know that I... That may be enough to warrant a severe thunderstorm warning for National Weather Service. I'm going to relay to them that ours is picking up. Let's see, there's 49. That's the highest I've gotten so far. Yeah. So, I mean, we could be looking at some 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts rolling into BCS right now. So, Shannon, that might be enough to hop on air again. I know that's not technically severe, but... About 45 to 50. Right at the Brazos River. I'm just kind of relaying that to National Weather Service, seeing what they want to do with that information, if anything. It looks like non-severe wind moving into Bryan College Station, but bumping up close to severe levels. So we may see a warning issued here. And again, it would be for straight line wind concern. But a wind concern nonetheless. The Fort Hood is sampling barely higher. So again, that makes me feel pretty good about us not getting to that 60-mile-per-hour threshold. But either way, there's a lot of people about to wake up at BCS. Oh, why is that black? Hang on. I don't know. There it went. Okay, we're back. I guess that must have been something that I did. Sorry about that. We put this graphic system through a lot over the past 2 months. Oh, okay. Yeah, Chapel Hill. Let's look at it. So there's more wind and rain rolling through Chapel Hill. Haven't forgotten about you, Washington County folks. We're just also looking at this part of the storm that's kind of bulked up over BCS. Raining in sheets there in Chapel Hill. It's 290 and 1155. Ashley says some transformers were blown in downtown Brenham. Taylor says it's calm before the storm in Navasota. Hempstead, no, I'm not really concerned about tornadoes in your area. There's a little bit of rotation around y'all, but I think it's more than anything you're looking at the potential for some of the stuff that other people in the comments are talking about. Maybe some brief power flashes. Lots of outages in Brenham. Yeah. Those are confirmed. Ooh, that was some big lightning there in that Chapel Hill camera. I think that wind's got to Easterwood yet. Bob says the rain has started, but not so much the wind just yet. Looks like north at 9 out of Easterwood, so that's back around from southwest at like 3. What up?
I was just seeing what would be most helpful for me to do right now.
I don't know. I'm kind of waiting to see if they issue a warning. I don't think they will. I feel like they would have already if they weren't going to,
Well,
but I
since
just
they put out that warning that was an hour and 15 minutes.
yeah, that's
right
fun.
After they put the watch out.
Right. Cuz that's
That's how it works.
I'm going to get the leading edge through BCS if you want to. I mean, you're going to have time to forecast, I think. Especially with Sarah coming in later. But if you like want to get started on it,
Okay.
you can do that, and maybe I'll come get you in like 20ish,
Sounds good.
and we can tag.
Tag, you're it.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, Kelly, it has sped up a pretty good deal. Tanya's starting to get the rain and lightning too. Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't heard any rain yet. What is that? 290 and 6? Oh, that's a 290 and 6. That's like out by Hempstead, right? Yeah, just very, very bright. Yeah, so the flooding threat's gone down because these storms have sped up. So that is good because a lot of spots like west of I-35 were getting like 4 and 5 inches. I think most of us are going to get like 1 or 2. And right now it looks like the bigger rainfall winters are going to be on the northern half. Oh, okay, that's why. It hadn't started raining in the studio just yet, but it sure will here pretty soon. Yeah, Mumford, y'all are good. I mean, it's loud. But the worst of the wind may arrive here in just a little bit, but should be wrapping up pretty soon. The wind looks like it's arrived in Benchley. My biggest concern for the biggest wind is actually kind of on the south side of this system. So like Welborn, folks, it's about to get real windy there. I'm going to go back to the BTU Is this live feed? We are live. We are indeed live. I think on the stream y'all are delayed. The YouTube seems to be a little more delayed than Facebook. But it's not more than... Stanley, I've never heard that term before, but I believe you. It is... Okay, there's another look at the wind. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so it's probably about 40 to 45. I'm texting Cassidy. There's an observation page at Easterwood that updates every 5 minutes. I'm asking her to keep an eye on that to see how the wind changes. But yeah, I think probably about 40 to 45 in town with this. And now it's raining on campus, and so that radar is getting a little bit what we call attenuated, but that'll fix itself after a little while. But it's got the wind moving into town, which we know. Ooh, Brandon says getting cooler by the airport. Yeah, we should see a pretty significant temperature drop with this downdraft rolling into town. Navasota, you'll probably get about 15 to 20 minutes before this arrives for y'all, and it's the same part of the storm that rolled through Brenham, but it's just like what we were saying earlier, like where there are a couple little areas of very, very broad rotation to watch. That's not my main concern. And this is just so disorganized at this point that I'm not super concerned about anything. So what I am, well, we have earned ourselves another storm track. So let's get ourselves another storm track in here. And I'm going to draw this very ugly squiggly line and move it kind of about like that and show you. This is over the next hour and a half. BCS, I mean, you know, it says nowish. So like within the next 5 to 10, if you're in BCS and it's not raining yet, it will be within the next 15. Navasota, 20 to 30 at most. Very, very heavy rain with this, by the way. Madisonville closer to about 2 a.m. On that same token, I-45 in Montgomery County about 2 a.m. Burton absolutely is out of the worst of it. Yes, Burton, y'all, the worst is over for you. Chris says scanners saying a roof collapsed on a house off of Burleson Street in Brenham. I believe that. I will let the newsroom know. Thank you for that relay, Chris. Appreciate it. Let's see. We have 1 minute left on that severe thunderstorm warning, don't we? That's a good question. Yeah, so it was reformatted for a special weather statement, so that severe thunderstorm warning officially allowed to expire, and now we've got a special weather statement that kind of covers the whole, pretty much from about Willis all the way down to Bay City. So, I mean, it's just this big thing. And I mean, it's a big cluster of thunderstorms, so that makes sense. So here it is over the past hour. Again, parts of that pushing off to the east and then just migrating to the north. And so now we are finally looking at these thunderstorms having arrived at Highway 6. There's Rock Prairie in 6. That is my son's favorite place to drive right now because of all the bulldozers and excavators and all that stuff. Snook, worst is wrapping up for y'all pretty soon. Natty, yeah, wind's probably going to pick up a good bit over the next half hour. Storm has arrived for folks in Bryant, at Finfeather, and Ville Maria. Man, and it hasn't started raining here at the station yet. But there's the rain at 6 in Rock Prairie. Big shout out, Shannon Cameron and Katie Caldera, technical media producers at KBTX, who have been taking us on the TxDOT camera tour.
Anybody else issuing another warning? Austin, Waller? Tour possible?
Within the special weather statement?
What side?
Oh, okay. I'll mention that. We probably won't hop on for that one because that's like down towards Sealy, which I know I think we're better serving the people in that area here than we would be by jumping on air. There's the wind. That's some pretty big wind. And some rain too. Okay, so here's 6 and William J. Bryan. That's some of the bigger wind I've seen this spring so far. There's that new severe thunderstorm warning again, which is like pretty much everybody down there watches the Houston stations, but I'll mention it very quickly. It does not technically include Belleville, but does include Sealy and Katy. And the main concern there is for 60-mile-per-hour winds. Weather Service says they are also watching for some rotation with that. Yeah, I think we saw that the stream number jump up like 30 people in the past like 30 seconds because of the wind that's rolling. So the gust front has arrived here at the station. Yeah, that's a big wind right at Highway 6. Oh, what is that one? Okay. So if y'all can remember, spring's pretty quiet. It'll get there within the next couple hours.
They're coming down hard.
Yeah, this is 6 in Rock Prairie. Can you put me on there with Chroma now that I have PCR1 in there? Or would that be too hard? Don't worry about it. Okay. Okay. No. That's fine. Let's hop on air really quickly to just talk about this now that it's moving through. We'll do that for like 10, 15 minutes, and then we'll just hop back on the stream.
It do be raining sideways.
Yeah, that's pretty big wind. What do 5-minute offs say? Can you make sure that the router?
Yeah, I'm going.
I've got it. I've got it PCR on there.
Okay. Make sure I know what I'm doing. Okay. So, cut came to.
This is a KBTX News severe weather update from the First Alert Weather Center.
Hey, good morning, Brazos Valley. It is 1:20 on this Wednesday morning, and if you are up, it is very likely because of this. Now, there's no severe thunderstorm warning for us here in BCS, but the wind and the rain's coming in sideways, and we've seen some gusts, probably to more about 45, 50 miles per hour, which again is technically not severe criteria, but we knew there'd be a lot of people waking up as this rolled through. So we wanted to hop on air and continue the coverage that we've had on our digital platforms, and at the very least, hop on and tell y'all that we do not have any current warnings, but this is what we are watching as the strongest activity that not only we're likely going to see through the rest of tonight, but probably through the rest of this week as well. So, okay, cool. So our director, Shannon, has got a live video actually, of Highway 6 in Rock Prairie. And if you were following on stream just a little bit ago, it was just a quick little downpour. And now it's not quite as sideways as it was a little bit earlier, but this is what's rolling through town right now. So again, no active warning for us here. The only warning that we're looking at technically right now is closer to I-10. That's down towards Sealy and then eventually moving into Katy. But it's along this leading edge of the thunderstorms, which we've seen from Brenham, even back before that, and Burton before that, and Giddings, where a lot of you on Facebook and on YouTube have been telling us about power outages and some really, really strong wind that's been rolling through. And so what we're looking at with the leading edge of this storm is about like this. And again, this looks a little messy, but it's really right along Highway 6, stretching from east of Hearn, now east of Benchley, and on the east side of Highway 6 in BCS. So, Curtin, Wixon Valley after that, down through South College Station, about to Navasota, and then down towards Hempstead as well, is where we're looking at the leading edge of the stronger wind. And again, there's no active warnings with this, but we're still looking at some pretty big wind that's rolling through town right now. Our on-campus radar is getting rained on, but it was sampling anywhere from about 40 to 45 mile per hour wind gusts as it rolled through.
And Max, we're picking up 43 mile per hour gusts.
Okay, that's the Easterwood?
Easterwood.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. So we can confirm that, right? That's how it felt out there. This latest one says north at 9, and this hadn't shown the temperature drop, I don't believe yet either. But that's what it looks like there on campus now as the wind has started to calm down. So with this initial burst of that wind, it shouldn't last very long where you sit. But again, it could be enough to maybe cause some minor damage around your neighborhood. And fortunately, this is moving at a fast enough pace where I don't think flooding is going to be a huge issue for us here, especially by the time we get to the morning rush hour tomorrow. But as this has picked up forward pace, we'll need to watch this for our southern counties as well to see if we get a little bit more bowing out with this, and that could lead to some enhanced straight line wind potential there too. That very, very bright green that you... Oh, okay, yeah, that would be great. The very bright green that you see there, I don't think is exactly ground truth that we're looking at rolling through Austin County. We can poke around in there and look, but that's kind of the area that folks were most concerned about. And again, 68, I'm not really buying that, but I definitely am about 60, 65 down there, closer to Sealy on the I-10 corridor. So that's where, if we're looking at the actual severe wind stuff that could cause some more widespread damage, Austin County is my greatest concern with that, especially south of Belleville. But obviously, we just saw some big wind roll through here too. So the leading edge of that is now moving out of Austin County through the Brazos River and now into Waller County, and it's going to be greater Houston area. I know we had a couple of folks on stream asking about Spring, the Woodlands, areas like that. So this is kind of a storm track and location time there for you on the eastern side of Houston by about 3 o'clock towards Humble and areas like that. So there's your Spring there at about 2:22. So let's go back up. Let's just go up Highway 6 with this. I know we had some Navasota viewers as well. Rain hasn't really started there for you just yet, but the wind is pretty much right at downtown right now. And again, this is where we get a little bit of interference between the Houston and the Fort Hood radar site, but the wind does look a lot less threatening than it did a little bit earlier. A lot of you Brenham folks went through it a little bit earlier, but things will continue to calm down for you. So Brenham, Somerville, if you live along and west of Highway 36, you are in the clear now. And a lot of us in BCS are starting to calm down already too. Like, we just get those quick buckets along with the strong winds, and that's about it for it. So again, the velocity down there south of 290 is still trying to sample about 55 to 60. I could believe that, could take that or leave it. I still think it's from Hempstead and southward where that bigger concern is for wind. But those storms are moving east and a little bit to the north as well. That's a good storm track there for our Montgomery County folks. Magnolia at about 150. So here within the next 30-ish minutes, Montgomery closer to about 2 o'clock. Tomball a little bit after that as well. Conroe and the I-45 corridor about 220. And then Cut and Shoot moving closer to
Moving
San
east at
Jacinto
45
County at about
miles per hour.
230. What's that?
It took 45. Let me adjust the speed real quick. And
Okay. Was it at 40?
It was at 40. And it's
Okay, so we'll speed that up then just a little bit. But yeah, that's where, if we're seeing the bigger winds here still in our area, it's from about Navasota down to Hempstead, and we'll get you a new set of times here. Moving a little bit faster now, yeah. So Magnolia about 145, Montgomery closer to 2 o'clock.
we got 20 in the morning for Austin County.
Okay. What part? Like down towards Sealy?
It's the very
Okay,
southern
let's-
tip of Austin County.
Okay. Let's, while we're on air, let's talk about it. Yeah, you can drive. Go ahead. And turn on the polygon. Oh, okay. Well, that's like way out of here.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well, let's super zoom on that real quick just while we're here. Yeah, I mean, that's like down toward Rosenberg and Wharton. So,
Oh, yeah, it barely gets Austin. Okay.
yeah, that's why we got the ping, though, is that little teeny tiny area in Austin County. So, I mean, that's even south of Eagle Lake and areas like that. So, again, that's more down closer to the coast problem. And I assume it's that little area right there they're looking at. Some big, strong wind kind of moving into the greater Houston area. So, yeah, closer to Highway 59 and moving eastbound. So, yeah, okay. We'll let Houston handle that one, and maybe even Victoria. But the way that polygon worked, it pinged that very far southern portion of Belleville. And it's moving northeast, so we'll watch that for Greater Houston, but again, not really a concern for us. I mean, this is another thing here, too. Whether it was wind or lightning that knocked out all the power in Washington County, could have been a little bit of both. That is now moving into Washington through Chapel Hill, although I think the worst is past for you in Chapel Hill, Navasota, then Whitehall, Todd Mission, Pinehurst, and a lot of BCS now starting to calm things down after that initial push too. So what we'll do is it's 1:30, and again, we don't have any active warnings for us except for that severe thunderstorm warning in the southern side of Austin County, but we did want to hop on air just as this main cluster was moving through the heart of BCS. But we're still watching that for now Grimes County after this over the course of the rest of the 1 o'clock hour, and then into Madison and Walker and Montgomery counties after that. We're going to continue our coverage on stream on your kbtx.com/live stream platforms as well. If you have Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, things like that, and you watch our regular newscast there, our stream continues there as well. So if we see any new warnings issued, which I suppose is a possibility, mainly keeping an eye on that for Waller, Grimes, Montgomery counties over the next hour or two. We'll be sure to hop back on air if need be. Otherwise, we're probably just going to continue things and wrap up our coverage tonight on our streaming. If you don't have us on the .com, Facebook, and YouTube, we're there as well. And you can join the conversation too and let us know what's going on in your neighborhood. Stay with us here at KBTX. We're here to keep you and your family safe.
This has been a KBTX News Severe Weather Update from the First Alert Weather Center, sponsored by American Momentum Bank. For the latest weather anytime, trust KBTX.com and the First Alert app.
I think we may soon hand off to Kaylee. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Shannon. Oh no, we're leaking in the hallway again.
Oh gosh, it's not good.
We lost all those brain cells for what?
Oh, jeez.
Shannon, run!
Oh, jeez.
That's for the insurance claim.
What was all those sea of fumes for?
I know.
Huh?
Why was I high for 3 hours?
Why was I floating? Where are my boxes?
How is he floating?
Okay, here, I'm gonna run to the restroom and I'll be.
Everything's set up. I just have to turn my mic on.
Okay.
That's for you. No,
My helmet.
like for you to just get away from me.
Do I stay?
No! I don't know. Okay. Oh, all right. Let me make sure microphone's back on. Is it? There we go. All right, we're back.
Were you able to get mic on okay?
In here? Yeah. Thank you. Oh, they overheard the leaky hallway. Yeah, you know what's funny? We just got our roof replaced here at the studio, and it does appear to have worked very well in terms of like eliminating the noise, because used to when it started raining in the studio, it sounded like it was hailing, like it was just that like direct. It just sounded way heavier than it was. And we appear to be having problems after the fact. So I'm not going to throw shade at the roofers. They've had to work with some interesting constraints because of the weather. Put the towels down and pray. Yeah, Anderson, like, again, this is just, right now, it looks like a real quality thunderstorm rolling in. We don't have any active warnings other than that one that's in southern Austin. Right now, I don't expect one to be issued. Let me get back on our BTU radar and see what we've got. Tracy says 1.5 inches into just about the past 30 minutes. Thank you for that. Okay, let's see what the radar wants to do for wind. Yeah, it's still pinging about 45 to 50 miles per hour, which I definitely believe, just based on what rolled through here. But we did see that confirmed gust out of Easterwood at about 45, and I think that's what the peak was. I mean, that one at once almost 50. And that looked like this line of storms beefed up a little bit. Monica, where are you? And I can tell you whether it's over or not. Joe says winds get pretty crazy in Curtin. Yep, y'all have got the worst rolling through now. It should improve pretty quickly, though. After that, I would say that the worst gusts from it here in BCS, where we were at the station, lasted maybe about 5 minutes. Y'all have got the strong winds rolling through now. Yep, very electric, very windy in Navasota. Again, nothing severe at the moment. Yeah, Navasota is like on the very edge of that special weather statement for 40 to 45 mile per hour winds. I don't think that y'all are looking at any gusts much bigger than what everybody else has. Looks like it's beefed up a little bit.
A little bit. Lightning wise, especially.
Yeah, it's about to get really, really noisy in Navasota. Michelle, no, the only rotation concerns we've seen have been south of I-10, and I don't see any additional concern right now. Yeah. Kaylee's in here and is trying to kick me out, so I might let her do that. And go get a nap before the kids wake up. Jay looks quieter. Looks cloudy. Maybe still a little drizzly, but I think morning rush hour is going to be quiet, with the exception of maybe some tree limbs and some ponding and stuff like that. Okay, I'm going to hand the stream over to meteorologist Kaylee Thomas. She's going to be with you guys for the rest of the morning. And Sarah Howard's. Yes, Franklin is good. It's about to get a little bit noisier in Franklin, but y'all aren't going to see anything severe. But Kaylee's going to hop on stream, and if needs to hop on air, she will. I really don't think that she will need to. We should be able to handle this all on stream. So any questions for her, she's happy to answer them, and then she can, yes, Chapel Hill's through the worst of it. And we'll check in again with y'all on BVTM in the morning. Anything else? A woman who needs no introduction. Meteorologist Kaylee Thomas.
But needs a whole lot of caffeine.
Round of applause. Yep. Let's get the caffeine going. Okay. If you need anything.
Yeah, if you want to talk to Sarah and Madison about how we want to start BBTM,
Okay.
I told them lead with weather, but if it's quiet,
Yeah.
I don't know if you have any thoughts about that. But
Okay. Cool.
all right, drive safe. Well, good morning, everybody. Let's get situated here. All right. Max is much taller than me, so let me adjust real quick. Okay. They did just do another special weather statement, so we'll get the latest on that. Let me pull that up from our partners over at National Weather Service, and they just did a new tornado warning as well. Or maybe that's just my phone being dumb. Yep, that's just my phone being silly. Okay, so let's get, just to get our bearings here. Yeah, so right now, all we've got warning-wise is this one box down. Yes.
Oh, that's yours. So sorry.
That's my water. Don't take my water. All right. Only warning we have right now is the one down towards Austin and southern Waller counties. So that's all we've got warning-wise, which is good. But we did just get a new special weather statement. Tracy, good morning. Appreciate you guys hopping on here with us. Taylor saying scary windy at my house in Navasota. Yeah, you guys are kind of through or getting the worst of it as we speak. Let me see what they're doing with this special weather statement. That's a wacky polygon. All right. Tracking thunderstorms, line extending from Navasota to 11 miles south of Beat Ice, to 8 miles north of Curtin. Movement was east at 35. So they've slowed this portion of the line down. Main concern here is wind gusts about 40 miles per hour. So that was Taylor saying that those winds were pretty gnarly at her house in Navasota. Again, keeping in mind we are kind of in between radar sites with this scan of velocity, and that just looks messy, if I'm being honest with you. Let me turn that off so we don't get those other things in the way. Yeah, you're getting kind of these weird, wacky notches, but keeping in mind that this is the Houston radar, so it's shooting very high up into the atmosphere, and we may be kind of seeing some mid and upper level rotation there. I'm going to go to our first alert radar, see kind of what we're getting there. It's windy, but doesn't look as extreme. 45. Yeah, you can bring that in here. Okay. There looks to be some notchy stuff moving towards Navasota. Potentially. Okay. All right. So let's clear that off. So again, that leading edge is where we are certainly going to be monitoring for the strongest portion of this storm. So they're going, what did I say, east at 40? East at 35, 40 mile per hour gust. So let's get a track on that for you, just for the leading edge, so we can figure out kind of where or when that leading edge is going to get to your front door. All right, 35. Let's go really from Brazos County down east about there. All right. So just for that leading edge, Michelle Anderson, what does that mean? So basically, Anderson, you're right on that leading edge of that storm now. So things are going to get really windy very quickly. Then things are going to get very rainy and likely a lot of lightning and a lot of thunder. But right now, all of this is subsevere. Main concerns are gusty winds at about 40, and we're watching for some notches in that line, but right now I'm not overly concerned about that. So Anderson, speaking of 145, if there's a delay, it's probably to you about now. But if you are watching us and you're getting a good live stream, it's right now 141, and that will be there in the next couple minutes or so. Iola 151, North Zolch 153, Beat Ice right after the top of the 2 o'clock hour gets to Madisonville Municipal at about 208, Montgomery 207, then Madisonville proper about 212. Then we get to Midway about 230, Huntsville 236. So we've got a little bit. Bancotel was saying is calming down just a little bit, so that's good news. Again, right now you're just seeing a ton of lightning. We've got live eye camera. Interested to see if that is showing us. There we go. So there's a look at our live eye camera in Navasota. Certainly finding some lightning, of course, and as I click it, it's gonna stop. There we go. So it's certainly going to get pretty flashy, pretty rumbly here over the next little bit. But all of this sub-severe at the moment, which is, I believe, the best news of all. So let's get back to here. Let's look at velocity and then we'll look at shear again. So again, keeping in mind with this radar, or with this scan of velocity, we are pretty far away. So when we see those reds and greens next to each other, that can indicate rotation. However, when we are this far away, you're shooting up pretty high in the atmosphere. So this may be sampling a little bit higher than what we would like. Alicia, sorry, you asked this about a minute ago. South College Station over the worst part. Yes. So now we're kind of getting the heavier rain. I just missed a really big lightning flash in Navasota. Let's see. You got a little bit of shear moving into Anderson. Not a ton. Charity, no tornadoes, no tornado warnings active right now, but those winds could get potentially a little bit erratic and certainly gusty over the next little bit as this line is moving through. Let's put that in motion. A little bit of shear. Yeah. Even First Alert radar is picking up some messy rotation. Nothing clear cut, but Kevin, thank you. Michelle, thank you. All right. Put it back in motion. Kind of get you an overview here. Who is it? Caldwell. Kristen was asking about Caldwell. Yeah, you guys are over the worst of it. Still going to be rainy, still going to be rumbly, but right now, really, it's that leading edge that we are focused on. Yeah, lots of lightning down in Navasota. Make sure we haven't missed anything. Don't believe we have. All right. Did another SPS 4 closer to the coastline. Rumbly here for sure. Franklin, you're good right now. Likely going to find some rain, some rumbles, but strongest portion of this line is south of you guys. Yeah, so they basically now have a strong thunderstorm, SPS, a special weather statement, in place pretty much from Brazos County all the way down to the coastline. So if we were going to draw that out for you, let's go from here all the way down. Big old storm track. Gabby, of course. Keith is getting pounded by heavy rain wind. Yeah, you guys will be in the worst of it here for the next little bit. But hopefully we'll find some clearing, at least lightening up of the wind and heavy rain coming up here very soon. So there's, again, kind of the overview of that special weather statement. Even though it's two separate ones, it's for the same line, stretches from Brazos County, like I said, all the way to the coastline. So Iola, 149 here in the next couple minutes, if it's not already there. North Zolch, 158. Montgomery, 214. Jersey Village, 223. Conroe, 237. Cut and Shoot, about 247. We get to Cold Spring at 316? 316. All right. Let's clear that off. Yeah, we're certainly getting a lot more lightning down towards Navasota, really southern Grimes, down through northern Waller County, pretty much down towards 290. Looks like we just got a report here. Additional Ives Creek sensor out by Belleville gusted to 40 at 120. So a little bit of a delayed report, but strong wind gusts, not severe. Look at velocity again. Michelle, you and me both. Okay. So if we're looking at velocity here, this is using the radar on campus, so we're a little bit closer to these storms, so hopefully getting a better sample for us. And those are looking pretty gusty. That's 56, 40. So I'm not going to rule out the potential that we're finding some severe gusts, but I think most of this is going to be strong. Oh. And we lost first alert radar. Oh, maybe she's back. Okay, she was just having a moment. All right. Yeah, so still, it just is messy, unfortunately, as this storm is moving through. But right now, again, mainly just gusty winds. But obviously, when you go to our Houston radar, things, you get a little further away. It looks, I think, a little more concerning than it actually is. Yeah, we got a lot of shear. Basically, shear, someone was asking in the chat, it's how quickly winds or how much winds are changing with height. So that's kind of your amount of spin in the atmosphere. That is one of the necessary ingredients that you need if you're going to find a tornado of any sort. But right now, it's just so messy. So the ingredients are there. It's just a question of whether or not we're actually finding anything. And again, switching back to first alert radar where you are a little bit closer. Yeah, you kind of see those little... Let me get that little pointer so I can... So it's kind of like... Just messy. Again, not organized enough to pose any direct threat, but this is certainly going to be some more erratic wind directions where maybe we're seeing things kind of change very quickly. Special weather statement? Oh no, that was from a couple minutes ago. All right. Guillermo, no. I don't think we didn't have a tornado warning there, but Darby's my dog jumped directly on the bed. He's not vibing with all this thunder at all. I get it. I know my dog at home is probably having a rough go. All right, let's get a. Ruby, Brenham is kind of behind the worst of it now. Likely still a bit flashy. You're kind of catching the back end of this line, or at least the lightning off of this line. And you may even be finding a little bit of a break. However, some more rain behind it, maybe even a little bit more lightning. Ashley saying power's out in Stoneham. Kenny, Friendswood, you're a little bit out of our range, but you probably got a little bit until the worst of it hits you. But check in with our YouTube chat here as well. Tabitha over on YouTube is asking if there's a weather app you can download that has the velocity radar as an option as well. I think the one that we all get recommended is Radar Scope. You do have to pay for it, or at least for, I think you have to pay for the original version, and then you can also pay for some additional levels, but that will give you access to velocity scopes as well. All right. Check in with College Station utilities, kind of see what we're dealing with here. Yeah, off of Brothers Boulevard, we got about 160 without power. Sharon's asking about Walker County. Let's get another track on this. It's been a second since we've done that. We'll kind of go, let's so we can get some more locations. I'll kind of do the southern portion of the line, and then we'll go a little further north. Oh, and we just got flood advisory. All right, cool. We'll talk about that here in just a second. Cool wasn't the word I should use, but all right. So right now, movement's still at about 35. That may be a little bit northeast than what the line's actually moving at. Actually not. That was a pretty good storm track. All right. So southern portion of this line, it has been historically the strongest, at least since it has gotten into town. Montgomery about 205, Conroe 223, Cut and Shoot 234. Again, right now, in case there's a little bit of a delay, 155. Cold Spring 311, West Livingston 332, Livingston 339. Guillermo, talking about Brenham. Without power, and Brenham is bad, several roofs flown away. When it is safe to do so, if you could get some pictures of that and send it either to the newsroom, to us, so we can send it to the National Weather Service, that would be great. That could also be indicative of straight line wind damage, but certainly if there are roofs that have been ripped away, obviously we've had some very strong winds. I appreciate the report though. But photos would be great so we could pass that along to our partners at National Weather Service. That's not what I wanted to do. All right. So now let's go to the top portion of this line. We've had a couple people asking about Walker County and Madisonville. Madisonville, things are creeping closer. And again, going same speed, about 35 miles per hour. This is, I think, stayed pretty consistent the last little bit. Then we'll get to that flood advisory. All right, so there's the timeline for this half of the line. Normandy 202, and again, just for reference, in case there's a delay, it's 157 right now. 213, Madisonville. I know someone was asking, and I lost that comment. Aubrey, I will miss this as well. No tornado watch in Welborn. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch for our southern counties until 5. TJ was asking about Madisonville. So again, Madisonville 213, Leona 223, Riverside 253, Trinity a little bit after the top of the 3 o'clock hour, Point Blank 311, Crockett 318, and then should be kind of pushing on out of here. Closer to the top of the 4 o'clock hour. So by the time BVTM rolls around, the leading edge of this line should be out of here. However, still may be dealing with rain, but the strong portion should be gone. Ruby 105 is good. No damage reported. Just no power. Yeah. All right. So TJ, there's your timeline for, again, Madisonville, and as the storm gets closer to I-45. Y'all, I kicked Max Crawford out of here. I still hear him in the studio. All right. So there's a look at those wins again. Yeah, things are still just so messy along that leading edge, especially moving through Grimes County.
Has you got an iPad?
I do. I thought I kicked you out of here.
Yeah, you did. Oh, we were just keeping an eye on that rotation, though.
Yeah, it's still there, but it's just messy.
Yeah.
And that's
I don't think it's anything to be super concerned about.
that's first alert radar. What is Sheer doing?
It's like,
It's spotty.
not as bad as it looked earlier.
Yeah. It's lining up with that little guy up north of Iola. Into Westing. All right.
Is the battery good on that one?
It's at 45. What's that one at?
This is at 33, but I'll
Okay.
plug it in.
Okay, I also have my iPad in case
Okay.
this dies.
Thank you.
Cool, thank you. Go home.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Michelle's asking where's the rotation we're watching. Again, just still very messy. It's not organized rotation. But what has my attention is right here. Kind of between Iola and Beat Ice, right before you get to 90. Good luck to you. Are you you're driving home? Okay, I won't see you till next week. So you guys are getting to see the changing of the guard here now that everyone's leaving. All right. Goodbye. Drive safe. Text me when you get home. You're gonna drive so slow and so safe. Perfect. All right. Bye. Hi, Taya. Hey, girl. All right. Right now, nothing super concerning. However, there are a couple areas of really messy rotation. They don't have any word on if they're going to warn it or do anything, but if they do, I'll come talk to you.
Okay, for sure. Do you have the weather mic on you?
I have the weather mic. I don't have an IFB.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Yes. Kaylee, I'm so... Name twin? Sorry about that. Trying to make sure everyone is getting out of here safe. So again, the rotation that we're watching is moving kind of from Iola towards Beat Ice around 90. And let's zoom out because that's not really giving you any sort of idea there. Show them especially Hearn. Hearn, you guys are kind of through the worst of it. Someone was asking about Hearn earlier. I apologize. But right now, Hearn, you guys are kind of through the worst of it. Maybe still a little rumbly, but likely just finding some good rain. One thing that we haven't talked about is that flood watch, or not flood watch, flood advisory. So let's talk about that real quick. Give radar a few more scans, and then we'll get back to that area moving through Grimes County. Okay. do this part.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, so let's get that flood advisory up here. Thank you. All right. I think Crawford had the IFB.
Okay.
I just don't know where he put it. Okay. Okay. So there's your flood advisory. That goes until 5 a.m. Let's get some deets on that for you. Well, that's not helping me. All right. It's not pulling up on there, so I'll read it off my phone because I definitely have it on here. So again, timing, that flood advisory goes until 5. Bryan College Station is included in that. It's for the kind of north and northwestern corner of Brazos County. Minor areas, minor flooding and low-lying and poor drainage areas. Minor flooding is ongoing or expected to begin. Doesn't give any totals, but again, just kind of know that if you have to be out on the roads the next couple hours, you're likely going to run into some standing water. But hopefully, by the time most of us need to get out on the roads, the rain will have subsided. Let's go back to velocity here. Well, Darby, we appreciate it. Yeah, so you can kind of see, at least with First Alert Radar, where we're a little closer to it. Let me get my... You can kind of see these little notches of sorts. And when we flip back to the Houston radar, you can see it as well. Oh, hello. But because we're a little further away, you start to see that indication of rotation. But keeping in mind, we are shooting a little high up into the atmosphere. We likely have some at least mid-level rotation, but I don't think that's making it all the way to the ground yet. Again, what that's going to do is make those winds erratic and changing direction very quickly. But that is, again, not seeing any hail. I didn't think we would. Samantha, no. Hempstead. Someone's asking about Hempstead. Hempstead, I think y'all are through the worst of it. Let me it's still pretty rumbly, but the leading edge is past. And it looks like kind of for the central and southern portions of the Brazos Valley, once the leading edge passes, you may get a little bit of a break, and then you find a stronger band of rain moving in. Okay, I'm going to let this play out for 2 seconds. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, we're back. Sorry, y'all. It is cold in here. All right, what is... Okay, got a strong thunderstorm. Another special weather statement. So let's break down those details, huh? Not showing up on here, so I'll just do it on my phone again. All right. Oh, that's because I was on the wrong station. Here we go. All right, moving up to our northern counties. We really haven't talked about you guys all that much. So, Darby, thank you for that report. Glad to hear that it is calming down in Navasota. Probably still going to be pretty flashy. I've got my Navasota Live Eye camera up right now, and I can see the raindrops on it, but haven't seen a whole ton of flashes, which is good. It means that system's moving away from you. So let's go back up to our northern counties. Again, no, we haven't really talked about you guys all that much this morning, tonight, however you want to look at it. So this is up towards Leon and Robertson County. We'll pause it. You can kind of see that Boeing section right there. Okay, reading from the National Weather Service. Doppler radar is tracking strong thunderstorms along a line 7 miles north of Camp Creek Lake to 12 miles southwest of Fort Boggy State Park to 6 miles northwest of Bedice. Movement was at 30, so this one's a little slower. Northeast? Yeah, northeast at 30. So let's get the timeline for you, and then we'll look at impacts real quick. Actually, we'll look at winds first. I'm already here. Okay. So kind of the same situation that we were looking at in Navasota, and someone had mentioned Keith earlier, but here's kind of the, again, that does have my attention. So again, you kind of see that is where winds are moving away. Green is towards. So Flynn, that looks interesting to me. Again, not concerning enough that they have warned it, but it is certainly, again, indicative of some sort of rotation. And there's your shear. So again, if you weren't with us when we talked about this last, shear is the measure of spin in the atmosphere. You need that to support tornado formation. And in between Keith and Flynn, we've got some, and that's lining up. It's a little behind. Hang on. Let's see here. I forgot this is a touchscreen. Yeah, it's lining up with it. There's some... All right, we got a severe thunderstorm warning. So let's see here. All right. This goes until 3:15. So this is a big, big warned area. So let's actually, I'm going to open, I'm still in Max's show. So give me 1 second. You may see our screen go black here for just a second. Our graphics go black, I mean. I'm going to pull up my show. There we go. All right, so we've got a severe thunderstorm warning. We may, due to that, go jump on the wall here in just a second and kind of give you a brief overview of what we're looking at. And then we'll probably come back on air here in just a second. So once my graphics come back up, there we are. Okay. Let me go chat with my friends in production. And we'll get everything set up. Okay, there we go. There we are. All right. Yes, and then we just got someone beat me to it. Got another special weather statement that was issued right after the severe thunderstorm warning, and that does include Houston, Madison, Montgomery, and it looks like we've got another one as well. It looks like a separate one for Montgomery. Okay, I'm going to leave this running. I will be right back. I'm going to go talk to my friends in production, and then we'll probably hop on the wall for a quick second.
Fantastic.
All right. Here's what's going to happen, friends. All right, make sure I didn't miss anything comment-wise. All right. What's going to happen here is I'm about to hop on air for a very brief second. And before we do that, I'm actually going to just put graphics up so Shannon doesn't have to be on camera. So we're going to go hop on air real quick. What's going to happen for you guys, the screen's likely going to go black for a quick second, and then it will come back up, and I'll be on the wall, and we'll talk for probably like 10, 15 minutes, and then maybe shorter. And then I'll come back in here, and we'll keep streaming. All right. I'll see you guys on TV in like 2 seconds. Hang on. I know what I'm doing.
Is a KBTX News severe weather update from the First Alert Weather Center.
A very good early morning to you, Brazos Valley. We've been on stream, currently are on our stream as well, but I wanted to hop on air. We've got a little bit of an update here. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning issued for portions of Robertson and Leon County, so I do want to get you the latest on that very quickly. Again, main concern with this whole line of storms has been these very strong, mainly straight line winds. However, we are seeing some areas where that rotation is messy enough where it could be a little bit concerning. But let's get you the latest on that severe thunderstorm warning right now. Again, this is the only part of the line that is warned at this time. If we can get that up here. Let's go. Severe thunderstorm warning. Well, there we go. All right, it goes until 3:15. So this goes for another hour. And this has been kind of what we've seen National Weather Service do with this line, is have these pretty long and extending areas for severe thunderstorm warnings. So let's get the latest on that wind. Again, most of this, or the reason that it is warned, is because of 60-mile-per-hour winds, and that's it. But as you can see here on live radar and with our velocity scope, we always look along the leading edge of these storms for when the green meets the red. And right now, north and northeast of Normandy, approaching I-45, you can see these little pockets where potentially we're finding a little bit of rotation that may not be reaching to the ground, but it shows where the inflow and the outflow are starting to fight each other just a little bit. Again, this is not bright enough. These storms are not, or those colors are not close enough to really warrant a ton of concern. However, the potential is there for us to find some more erratic wind directions than anything else. So let's get wind speeds with the rest of this system behind it. So let's do, right now it looks like the strongest is a little bit behind it, kind of moving from Franklin over towards Normandy. So again, you can kind of see those are sampling a little bit higher than what our winds are a little bit further to the north. So let's get a track on that for us, and then we will get you the latest on the rest of this line that is not severe warned, but is certainly strong and is certainly going to be noisy here over the next little bit. So let's get some info And they did, so they do have the tornado possible tag on here as well. So likely, again, those little notches here. Rotation is currently a little too weak to warrant a tornado warning. So exactly what we just talked about. So it is moving right now northeast at 30. So let's get that drawn on here. So we've got a little bit with this storm. Again, remember that this warning goes until 3:15. Right now, Leona gets there about 2:32, so you got here about 12 minutes or so. Centerville 2:51 gets to Ash a little bit before 3:15, Flow 3:30, and again, that is after that warning does come to an end. But keeping in mind that with storms like these, when we have that tornado possible tag, I think it's always best to treat it like a tornado warning, a big tornado warning, but a tornado warning nonetheless. So because of this tornado possible tag with that potential rotation right along the leading edge, it is best that you don't be outside right now. You get to that most interior room of your house and wait for this storm to pass. So that is the latest on that severe warned portion of this storm. Let's go a little further south because we do have a couple of special weather statements or strong thunderstorms that we are tracking as well, and we'll get you the latest on those. So we've got one strong thunderstorms, Trinity Grimes, Brazos. That was at 2:10. Yep, okay. So let's get the latest on that guy. All right, it's been moving at about 30 to 35. So we'll keep the timeline about the same. Again, interrupting coverage mainly just to keep an eye on that storm up across our northernmost counties with that tornado possible tag. But for everybody else, it's still a little rowdy, just not quite to that severe threshold right now. So looking at the bottom half of this thunderstorm where things are strong but not yet severe, and hopefully will stay sub-severe. Conroe, leading edge should get to you about 2:25, so you're in the next about 3 minutes. Huntsville 2:38, Riverside 3:13, Trinity 3:35, and then as we get closer to the start of Brazos Valley this morning, that is when I think the leading edge of this system is going to be out of here, but we could still be dealing with some lingering rainfall. Main concern with the stronger portion of this thunderstorm is also gusty winds. Continued to be an issue here that we are a little bit in between our radar sites. So right now, those locations rather, closer to the south, closer to our Houston radar, that's where things look a little more true to what we're finding. And also, again, leading edge here, you can see that green and red. Things just look messy, but not strong enough or organized enough to warrant any sort of tornado warning, anything like that. So let's click around in here, get you some samplings of wind speed. So again, not getting severe readings here, but strong, upwards of 40, closer to 50 miles per hour, especially down towards the southern portions of Montgomery County. And again, kind of looking at this. It's just messy. As this is approaching I-45, again, it's kind of where that inflow and outflow are starting to fight against each other. So the winds will likely be erratic, maybe a slight bit of rotation, but we're not finding anything confirmed. Far from it. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Let's look at velocity through our first alert radar. At this point, when we get a little further south on our first alert radar, we're getting a little far away from that radar site. So again, winds are likely being sampled a little bit high up in the atmosphere, so things are likely going to be a little breezier. So yeah, we're going to get closer to 60 miles per hour. So I think that's a little bit too breezy for this portion of the line, but certainly still strong. And again, you can kind of see how along the leading edge we get these notches, and that's where we were finding that inflow and outflow, making those messy areas of rotation. Let's look at wind shear. Yeah, so that's lining up as well. So you can kind of see those small little blue areas shading right along the leading edge. We were talking about this on stream, and we'll continue to bring this up in case you don't know, but wind shear is a measure of how much those winds are changing with height. It's basically how much spin we can create in the atmosphere. This is a necessary ingredient if we want to get anything to become tornadic. So that is going to be something that we watch, and you can see that those areas of shear are lining up with where that leading edge is. So you're seeing those greens and reds meet. Again, nothing overly concerning at the moment, but certainly something worth monitoring as this line continues to push through. Make sure we haven't missed anything from our partners at National Weather Service. Let's go back to the top half of this line. Before we get there, also worth noting that we do have a flood advisory in effect for Bryan College Station and kind of the northwest corner of Brazos County. That goes until 5 a.m. because not only did we have that line push through that put down a lot of rain and not a lot of time, but we also had a decent amount of rain filling in behind that line. So unfortunately could find some areas of flooding there. So let's go back up to our northern counties. Again, make sure they have not said anything there. Okay, they haven't. All right. So same concerns here, just slightly elevated with that potential for a brief spin up. There you go. We'll put it in play real quick, kind of see. So right now, to me, looks like we're finding the straight line winds trying to take over. You see those greens got a little bright and then they've dulled down. That's a good sign. That means those incoming winds are a little bit weaker, but you obviously see that those notches are still there. Let's pause it and let's lay over shear with that. Much weaker up here. Again, that's a great sign. You can barely even see it, but it is present right about, I don't even know if I could find it on the wall, so I'm just going to locate it on my computer. So you can kind of see it if you look very closely, a couple little blue dots right there. Again, that's a great sign that we are not finding additional shear. They are going to continue the severe thunderstorm warning. There's a boundary that extends from Leon County through southeastern Anderson County and a little further north. This will be the favored corridor over the next couple of hours for an isolated damaging wind gust, possibly a spin-up tornado. So again, that's kind of where it's that same area that we've been watching. So they canceled it for Robertson County. So more so they just updated it. Robertson County, you're out of that leading edge. So right now, again, tornado possible tag still present with this system as it continues to move to the northeast and towards the I-45 corridor. And again, you see those red and greens just kind of fighting each other. We'll look at shear, see if that's developed any. Not really. That's okay. We're a little far from burst alert radar. Let's get another timeline on that for you. And again, if you are wanting to get back to programming, reason we are here is because of this tornado possible tag that came with this storm. We treat these kind of like how we treat a tornado warning. It's a much bigger tornado warning, but because of that tornado possible tag, we just want to make sure that we are in the most interior room of our house. Most of us are going to be inside at this hour, but again, just want to make sure that we're staying weather aware as this line moves in. 231 Centerville, so next couple of minutes here, Jewett 242, Flow at 311, gets over to Carter Ranch about 353, and then again moves closer to the Houston County area, Grapeland around 412, so closer to the start of Brazos Valley this morning is when we will start to find more of that activity. So let's put this in play one more time, and then we'll probably get you back over to programming, but we will continue to monitor this on stream. So again, there's kind of your overview. We'll put lightning on this as well. It's quite rumbly. Lots of flashy areas here. If my lightning will actually pick up. If not, that's okay. So again, this stretches pretty much the entire length of the Brazos Valley. And right now, the strongest section of this line, the most concerning, is up towards our northernmost counties. That is, of course, where we have that tornado possible tag and that severe thunderstorm warning. The rest of this, as it is approaching the I-45 corridor, very noisy, very rumbly, still very windy, but not severe warned at this moment. And we'll make sure from our National Weather Service partners in Houston that are not going to do that. Right now, it does not look like they will. So let's get a check of winds kind of along the leading edge of this, and then we'll get back over to stream. Again, keeping in mind, unfortunately, we're kind of in between radar sites. So you may be seeing a little bit brighter colors than what we would actually find at the surface. So that leading edge crossing I-45 now, those reds and greens, again, fighting each other, the inflow and the outflow. So some messy and erratic wind directions, but we're not finding anything super concerning for that tornado potential. So let's pause here. Again, kind of getting you an idea. My goodness, this mouse is very sensitive. So through Grimes County, still likely finding winds closer to about 45 and even 50 miles per hour. So again, that strong thunderstorm potential is there. And we get towards the end of that radar. Again, you see those weird looking bright colors, not necessarily showing us that we are finding a tornado, but shows us that there is some potential for rotation. Okay, nothing there. That notch looks a little more developed up moving through Centerville. So yeah, you can kind of see how the green has more of a presence here, north of Leona, kind of between Centerville and Leona. That's where I think if we would be finding anything rotating, it's there, and then a little bit closer towards Marquez along 79. So let's put it in play the last hour. Yeah, I mean, that rotation's definitely there. Let's look at shear real quick. See, the shear is dissipated, which is good, but obviously still seeing a little bit of that rotation just north of Leona and moving towards Centerville. So again, with this tornado warning that goes for the next about 45 minutes or so, we do have that tornado possible tag. We'll get you the latest on that, and then we will get back over to stream. So again, there's the details on that. Goes until 3:15. Leon County now, just Leon County, and this does come with that tornado possible tag. Again, not confirmed that there's a tornado and not a tornado warning, but shows us that the potential for finding that rotation is there. We can see it on our radar, and this is also saying that there is some small hail possible. Not picking that up on our radar here. So just mainly monitoring the leading edge for those messy areas of rotation. So we're going to keep our eyes on that. We're going to head back over to stream. So we'll get you back to programming, but we are over on kbtx.com. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook, and you can always catch the latest over there. And if we do need to come back in and cut into coverage, we will, of course, be here to keep you and your family safe.
This has been a KBTX News Severe Weather Update from the First Alert Weather Center, sponsored by American Momentum Bank. For the latest weather anytime, trust KBTX.com and the First Alert app.
And we're back. It's Still cold in here. All right, so really, we're going to continue to talk about the same things that I was talking about on air. Just a couple of areas that have my attention. Let's get back. I can also look now at some of our comments because I could not see those in. Bye, Shannon. Thank you. Okay. Let's go back. Make sure I have not. I agree. They should let me wear PJs on air if I'm going to come in this early. Someone write a letter to my boss. All right. Okay. Other than that, haven't missed much. Okay. So still monitoring this portion of the line. Messy areas of rotation, but nothing overly concerning at the moment. So, because that is a little further north, I'm going to get us back to the Houston office, and we will get you the latest on the bottom half of this line. Yes, Kevin, it is moving into Huntsville as we speak. Really, it's lined up right along I-45 here, moving through Walker County. And keeping in mind, this is not severe warned. However, it is strong. And unfortunately, once again, between radar sites. So let's see if First Alert Radar is going to do us any good here. A little bit. Keeping in mind, Huntsville is a ways away from the First Alert Radar on campus. So this is shooting a little high into the atmosphere. But we've got 48 mile per hour winds, 51. So I don't think that's necessarily ground truth for us in Walker County, but it is a possibility that we're finding some of that. We used to have, I do believe our Sam Houston cam is dead right now. Man, okay, so we don't have that. That's okay. Ashland saying it's coming down pretty, in Huntsville, pretty noisy. Lots of lightning, for sure. So let's actually get lightning on. Yeah. So there's a look at those lightning strikes. Electric system, for sure. And unfortunately, that could lead to some power outages. It has led to a few power outages. Let me look real quick. Bring the mic over here. All right. So right now, biggest outages that I'm seeing is we've got Washington County. There's almost 2,000 without. Walker, we may have a few isolated outages, but nothing incredibly widespread. Grimes County is still about 500 without. Madison, we're good for right now. Okay. Okay. Alicia saying right by Sam Houston State, pretty gusty. Again, believe that. Unfortunately, just not great sites for us to measure winds because we are so in between radars, unfortunately. So yeah, again, First Alert Radar is sampling 50 plus. Hello. Don't know if y'all heard that, but our building is shaking. Jeremy, just passed through Flynn here in Leon County. It was very windy, lots of heavy downpours for about 30 minutes. Thank you for that report. I'm just glad that it was just windy. I know also we have some people asking about Madison County as well. So as this line is crossing I-45, let's get... Alicia, unfortunately, it is not. Our Sam Houston cam needs some assistance. I believe our engineers know about that. So let's get to the latest here, Madisonville. Again, still pretty windy with this. Let's sample some winds, even behind the leading edge, potentially up to about 40 or 50. But no severe warning as of yet. Okay. Make sure I hadn't missed anything. And I haven't. Alicia, that's what I'm saying. I fear that camera's been gone for a hot minute. So that's why we rely on you guys, our weather watchers, to let us know what's going on, because unfortunately, our live eye cameras are not helping us much. So again, there's a look at the winds in Madison County. Some of these have been included hail with their special weather statement, but we're just not finding that. I think it's hard to find hail developing in storms like these, just because they're so linear and it's more straight line concern. So let's go back up to Leon County. Again, the only, Midge, we'll get to that in just a second. It is a flood advisory. So we'll go back to that, but nothing severe, just noting potential for some isolated flooding. So they continued the severe thunderstorm warning until 3:15. Still have that tornado possible. Ashland, yes. Beyond the initial line or the leading edge of this line, main concern is just some additional rain that could lead to flooding. So really not much has changed here with our scan of live radar, which is good. Good and bad, but I'll take this rather than it getting worse. Y'all, someone tell Max Crawford to go to bed. And Max, if you're watching, go to sleep. Okay, let's see. Angela was at, oh, hang on. Monica was asking Brenham next few hours, and then Montgomery County. Okay, so again, this is the only severe warned portion of this line. We'll double check. Okay, latest here. Again, no hail, so that's good. Just got a message from our National Weather Service partners up in Dallas-Fort Worth, that covers Leon County. Stationed in Huntsville, Walker County, just gusted to 49 knots, which is 56 miles per hour. So that is just shy of severe criteria. The portion of the line in Leon County is more favorable configuration given the shear profile for damaging winds. So there's likely an isolated 60 to 65 mile per hour wind gust ongoing within the warned area. So Mary up in Centerville saying heavy rain, and those winds are probably getting a little wacky as well. Let's look again. We're not picking up a ton of shear, but also that may be our radar problem. So again, an isolated gust of 60 is possible. Let's sample. These don't look super bright, but again, we are also shooting a little high in the atmosphere. So likely not getting the best sample of what's actually happening at ground level. So there's the latest on that. I know Mary is in Centerville, but we'll give a quick timeline on this section of the line. Then we'll get back down to Walker County. Actually, we'll do the flood advisory first. Then we'll get to Walker County. So there is the timeline for the warned section of this storm. Buffalo, 306. Again, frame of reference right now, it's 244. Porter Springs, 329. Oakwood, 351. Crockett, 3:59, so close to the start of Brazos Valley this morning. As a reminder, that starts at 4:30. So we will be with you through the latest there. So there's the latest timeline on that. An isolated strong gust, severe gust, in fact, up to 60 to 65. Huntsville, certainly seeing a lot more lightning pick up with this system. And I believe, Kevin, heavy rain and wind here in Huntsville on the south side of town. Yes, so lots of lightning. And there's the severe thunderstorm warning. I knew they were going to do it. All right, let's get to the latest there. Then we may hop on air one more time. That's a big warned area. All right. Severe thunderstorm warning until 3:15. All right. So we got another severe thunderstorm warning until 3:15. Main concerns here are going to be 60 mile per hour wind gust. Yeah, radar indicated. All right. Let's get a look at velocity real quick. Yeah, unfortunately, still kind of in between radar sites here. So we are not going to get the best scans. Again, this may be a little far away from the radar site, but yeah, Ashland, I agree. Not surprised they warned of this at all. I think that's the right move. Jody saying heavy rain, lightning in the Huntsville, windy for sure. Raining pretty hard in Jewett as well, so that's up on the top half of this warned line. And then, yeah, Ashland. Manny, Brenham should be pretty calm next little bit. We'll kind of get you brief overview of this. I know we still haven't touched on the flood advisory portion of this storm, but we'll get there, I promise. So there's the activity we're tracking. Again, now we have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, which we will highlight, and I will go tell my friends in production that I should probably be on air for the next few minutes. And then we will we'll track the latest. Where is that? How fast is that moving? It's picked up speed, northeast at 45. That's the same one. Okay. All right, friends. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be back, and we'll kind of do the same thing, except this time I'll set myself up on for streaming. So hopefully there's no audio issues. If there is, I apologize. And let me know in the comments and go on air, because audio will be fine there. It may not be fine here. I'll be back. All right, friends, similar situation here. Gonna try and pull up my notes so I do this correctly and everyone can hear me. All right, so you're gonna lose this picture. Things are probably gonna go black for a minute, maybe a couple minutes. All right. Okay. Yeah, give me 1 second. Hang on. Those brighter pinks showing 56, 60 mile per hour winds as this is moving into Huntsville and Walker County, the rest of Walker County. So main concern, again, potentially damaging wind gust. We keep getting hail associated with these storms, saying that it's possible, but we're just not picking that up on our radar scope, which is okay with me. We can just deal with the wind. So let's get the latest here. Fort Worth, Actually, our National Weather Service partners in Fort Worth are the ones who told us about the wind gusts that pulsed up to 56 miles per hour in Walker County, so near Huntsville. And again, a lot of this very rumbly, very rainy, and very, very windy. So unfortunately for our friends in Walker County and stretching up into portions of Madisonville and into Houston County, this is likely waking you up if you haven't already been awake. The good news here is that it does look like this line is starting to straighten out a little bit. We were watching for these notches of activity along the leading edge, especially when it comes to those winds, the inflow and the outflow kind of fighting each other a little bit. So let's get velocity up here. Get you an idea. Again, still a ways away from those radar sites. The top half of this line has been a little more squirrely when it comes to those inflow notches. Right now, moving now north of Centerville, up towards Buffalo, and getting on out of the Brazos Valley here pretty soon. Just as an important note, the top half of this line, this highlighted box in Leon County, this severe thunderstorm warning also goes until 3:15, but it comes with a tornado possible tag. Again, mainly just because we've seen those inflows and outflows kind of fighting with each other a little bit. So we just want to make sure that we are staying indoors and in the most interior room of our house. Again, I don't think a lot of us are outside right now just because it is, almost 3 o'clock in the morning. I hope you're not outside right now. So let's get, let's get another look at radar zoomed out, put it in motion here. Most electric portion of this storm is really from Madison down towards Walker County. Montgomery County had some people on stream asking about that as well. Conroe is a little bit rumbly right now, but really the strongest section of this line is now moving out and through Huntsville and towards Trinity County. We'll get another look at velocity, and then we'll probably get back to stream here in just a second. Because yeah, unfortunately we are still just in between our radar sites. So we're not getting great data, unfortunately for you. We'll get, there we go. First Alert Radar's coming in with some info here though. So that certainly is proving to be very, very windy. So anywhere really from 45 to 60 miles per hour. Of course, 60 mile per hour wind gust is why we saw this warned in the first place. We will likely continue to see that here over the next, this warning goes for about the next 20 minutes or so. So it's going to be quite gusty here for the next little bit. Not going to be surprised if maybe we have to see the second warning down through Walker County into Trinity, into portions of Madison County. We may have to see this extend in time, but for right now, I do believe we are going to go ahead and wrap things up here. Again, 2 active severe thunderstorm warnings. Main concern, straight line gusty winds. There is a little bit of rotation possibility up towards Leon County. We've been keeping an eye on that. We'll continue to do so over on stream. Again, YouTube, Facebook, over at kbtx.com as well. So make sure you stay with us. If we need to hop back on air, we will, but we are here to keep you and your family safe.
This has been a KBTX News Severe Weather Update from the First Alert Weather Center, sponsored by American Momentum Bank. For the latest weather anytime, trust KBTX.com and the First Alert app.
They were like, we can't hear you, we can't hear you. Yeah, I figured. Okay. I know they can't hear me right now. Now you can hear me. I know there were some audio issues. I apologize. Unfortunately, I clicked the wrong button. I'll learn how to do this one day. Okay, so what you didn't hear was pretty much what I'd been saying on stream. So let's give us a pause here. Unfortunately, we're still kind of in between radar sites. So if we're looking, First Alert Radar is honestly doing the best job here at giving us an idea of what we're finding. So back down towards Huntsville, still very, very windy. We have got, oh my goodness, click there. There we go. Cassandra Seeley, you guys should, it's probably going to be pretty rainy there, but I don't think anything too intense. Jody, thank you so much. Okay. So still, Bank Hotel, we will get to Navasota here in just a second. But just a brief overview, Navasota not in this warning. And we lost radar again. All right, so what you just saw was some samplings of First Alert Radar showing us anywhere from about 55 to 60 mile per hour winds. And unfortunately, we'll probably be dealing with that for a little bit longer. Heather's saying Madisonville's getting a little bit louder. The leading edge is behind, or in front of you rather, but still obviously seeing a decent amount of lightning over Madisonville. Let's play the last hour. And again, radar is probably going to show us, or velocity is probably going to show us a similar picture where actually it looks a little calmer wind-wise for you at least. So that is good news. Okay, we'll pause that. So this is from I think this is from KGRK. So shooting a little higher up in the atmosphere, Madisonville still may be pretty windy. I don't know if all of these are making it to the ground, but we've got 43, 49, still sub-severe in nature with those winds, but I do think closer to the ground, maybe a little bit potentially breezier. Again, we'll check Hailscope. I really haven't seen anything of note there. Let's look at nothing worrisome on shear, which is great. And, oh, there we are. She's coming back. First Alert Radar's coming back. That's what we want to see. All right, so we have got... There we go. Again, we're a little far away from First Alert Radar, but this is at least closer and giving us a better picture than what we would be getting if we were looking at KGRK or KHGX down to our south. So we've got 51 mile per hour gusts, 56 in Huntsville, 63. So certainly, again, very gusty. Okay, I want to make sure that haven't missed anything from National Weather Service. What time is it? Okay. All right. Nothing. Nothing new here. All right. Let's get another timeline on this guy. Again, we're getting closer to the end of this warning, but not quite there yet. Again, moving at about 45, so we'll go from Houston down through Walker, and we'll go that way. All right, so Trinity at about 3:09. That's the next about 5 minutes. Crockett, 3:21. Groveton, 3:31. Kennard, 3:41. And again, that is after this warning comes to an end. So that is good news there. Okay. Let's go back up towards the north end of this line. Again, this warning goes for about the next 10 minutes. Again, still kind of in between radar sites here, unfortunately. Excuse me. So sorry. Okay. So live radar up on the northern portion of this line. Again, this section of the line has that tornado possible tag, but not finding anything super concerning with the rotation here. I do think they'll probably allow this portion of the line of that warning to expire. Down to the south, they may extend it. They may just kind of edit it and move it a little further to the east. Matagorda Bay. That's a little too far south for us. All right. So that, again, still is the most concerning portion of this line, mainly in terms of winds and just the heavy rainfall. But we are seeing a decent amount of rain filling in behind this system as well, really from about Burleson, even Lee County, all the way over to the east. People are saying it's getting loud in Carlos again, saying Madisonville was getting loud again. So yeah, I think a lot of the getting loud again is just this kind of backfill in behind where we still have enough instability to warrant some rumbles of thunder, some flashes of lightning. We'll look at winds. I don't think we'll find anything incredibly concerning. Not really. It may be a little breezy, but looking at like Carlos, 25, maybe up to 30 mile per hour winds making it down to the surface. But again, not super concerned about that. Just some good rain. There is the flood advisory. I've been wanting to go back and talk about that for like what seems like an hour now. It's probably only been like 20 minutes. All right. Flood advisory goes. Oh, they changed it. I thought it was until 5. It's until 4. That will hang around with us for the next about an hour. Main concern is, again, just some localized areas of flooding. The typical trouble spots that we see. So hopefully by the time most of us have to be out on the roads, we are going to see that clear up. But roads are still going to be wet and maybe still a few slick spots, hopefully, though, not dealing with any huge areas of standing water. So let's get the latest here. So there is... Okay. Sorry, I have my like 5 screens that I'm monitoring. Okay. Midway sounds like it's slowing down. So again, yeah, really my most concerning portion of this line is now kind of crossed through Huntsville. I don't think we have any other live eyes that are going to be helpful in that situation, unfortunately. Yeah, those winds, again, we're getting a little far away from even first alert radar, but this is trying to help fill some of those gaps. So let's click around. Yeah, 50, 51, 60. So still could easily be seeing a little bit of that activity. Amanda, Trinity County, absolutely. You guys are included in this warning. And you guys, I think, are going to be probably the main reason we see this warning extend, just because the line hasn't gotten to you yet. So let's go leading edge of this line from Houston County. It's likely kind of moving through Trinity right now, but Trinity County as a whole. Trinity 310, so now Point Blank about 316, gets to Oh, y'all, my eyes. Crockett at 328, 326, 331 in Groveton, Apple Springs 347, and then gets a little bit further out of the Brazos Valley. Amanda, I believe that we were in Trinity Power. So you in Trinity proper, in Trinity County, and power is flickering. Let's get velocity back up here. That's not going to help me. Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't think we're going to have a good look at velocity, which stinks. This is why we need more radar sites. But winds have been historically strong, so it does not surprise me if we are going to continue to find... Okay, so I think what they actually are going to do is not do a severe thunderstorm warning, but do a strong thunderstorm, an SPS, if you will. Let's see if I'm right about that. All right. Special weather statement. Trinity, San Jacinto, Houston, Madison, Liberty, Polk, Walker counties through 3:45. Let's get to the latest here. Doppler radar is tracking the thunderstorms along a line extending 6 miles northwest of Ostentino to near Cold Spring. Movement was northeast at 35. Okay, so this is slowed down. Wind gusts up to 50. Gusty winds could knock down tree limbs, unsecured objects. Areas and locations impacted: Crockett, Livingston, Ostentino, Apple Springs, Trinity, Shepherd, Onalaska, Corrigan, Grapeland, Groveton, Cold Spring, Point Blank, Lovelady, Riverside, Kennard, Latexo, Goodrich, Seven Oaks, Lake Livingston State Park. So, not a hail concern, still more of a wind concern, but looks like they are bringing down the wind concern from a severe threat to a strong threat. Okay, back up, we do have some updates from our partners in the Fort Worth office, and that would be for this morning. And it looks like they will expire this storm at 3:15. Line of storms in Leon County have been weakening trend for the last about 15 minutes. There are no plans to issue a downstream warning as of right now. They'll be monitoring the severe threat in eastern Leon and southern Anderson counties as these storms continue to move to the northeast. Amanda, of course. No, thank you for clarifying where you're at. I appreciate it. All right. Hang on. Just got about 7 alerts. So what are we doing here? Looks like they're doing another special weather statement for southeastern San Jacinto. So kind of the southern half of this line, it looks like. Yeah, because that'll extend down. Yeah, that's what they're doing. I understand why they put a strong thunderstorm alert out for that. We've got heavy rain, lots of lightning, but most of that moving out of Montgomery County and is more of a Houston issue now, or Houston area issue now. All right, so we got 2 minutes with this warning, and we'll see what they do with it. If they go ahead and allow it to expire, and they just continue it as a strong thunderstorm, we may end this stream. I've got about an hour until Brazos Valley this morning. So I've got to go forecast and make sure that my producers know what's going on and we're ready to get on air whenever the time comes, which is 4:30. So we're going to hang around and see what this warning does, and we'll go from there. Again, I don't think velocity is going to tell me anything. Excuse me, because of how far away we are from the radar. Unfortunately. No, Ashlyn, thank you. I appreciate you guys hanging on. I know this has been a kind of a marathon of a stream, really. 3.5 hours now, and you've witnessed the changeover from Cass to Max to me. So we appreciate you guys for sticking with us. Y'all are the reason we do it. Yeah. Unfortunately, hail's just not. What is that? Oh, another strong thunderstorm south. Cool. Yeah, still not finding any shear, which is good. All right, we've got a minute. Let's see what they do with it. From what I gather, it looks like they're going to let it expire. Hey, and there she is. She's expired. All right, so a couple strong thunderstorms still, and they've slowed down. So let's get one last. Let's do the top half of this storm, and then we'll do the bottom half, and we'll see where they go. They did decrease the speed. 35. All right, from Buffalo through Leon County, Houston, down to Trinity. All right. I'm going to read these times right, I promise. 3:16, Glendale, it is 3:15, so it's there. 3:28 in Crockett, Grapeland about 3:42, Apple Springs 3:58. Then it gets closer to Lufkin, out of the Brazos Valley, Nacogdoches, closer to the top of the 5 o'clock hour. And we'll continue to track this through BBTM as well, because we will still be dealing with a little bit of rain behind the rest of this. Again, kind of seeing that those rain rates pick up a little bit even here in town. We'll look at that here in a second. I'm getting distracted. Let's go southern half of the line. It's pretty much out of here, if we're being completely honest. Yeah, it's with us for the next 10 minutes, the leading edge at least. You'll still be dealing with the rain, but the strongest portion of this thunderstorm. Mainly more of a concern for Houston and Trinity counties now. Trinity proper, again, still very rainy, very windy, and quite flashy as well. Let's look at rain rates real quick. Whoo, that was a cool shot. We have still got a lot of lightning going on. Just saw some flashes on our association camera. So let's look at... Give it a second. Okay. Light to moderate. Not super concerned about that. We'll look at winds as well. Yeah, nothing super concerning. A little breezy here and there. It looks like more windy up towards the northern portion of this section, of this portion of rainfall. So from Leon, Madison, northeastern Brazos, may still be a little bit breezy. Yeah, still pretty rumbly here as well. All right. Okay, have not missed anything. So, with that... Check my Facebook comments, check my YouTube comments, make sure I haven't missed anything. Getting loud on the west side of Centerville. Yeah, we'll likely see a little bit of a pickup in intensity as these storms move to the east, but I think the severe and strong threat is done once that leading edge passes you. So that is certainly where the strongest section is. We'll do another look here. We'll play it out. Yeah, we just need another radar over here. Oh, I lost it again. Man. All right. Let's see if I can zoom in and get some more. So again, this is kind of the most, I say concerning. Keep in mind, no longer severe warned, which is great news. Lovelady 318. It's currently 318. Holly about 327. Crockett 332. Kennard 354. And again, continues on. The special weather statement, I believe, goes until 3:45. Let me double check that so I'm not lying to you. 3:45, yes. All right, so Kevin, I was literally just about to check power outages. You're quicker than I am. decent amount out. 24 there, 8 there, 59. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so about 200, a little over 200 customers. I realize I'm not talking to the mic. A little over 200 customers in Walker County, so over towards Huntsville. 17 customers between Richards and Beat Ice. 7 customers there. Yeah, closer down to the southern portion of the line, where we've got, and closer to the Houston area, that's where we're seeing more of those power outages. 7 there. Okay. All right. So yeah, certainly going to be some people without power, just either if it's the wind or if it is the lightning that is contributing to that, or maybe both. Yeah, still pretty rumbly here, but again, I'm not really overly concerned about anything strong or severe popping up. So we've got about an hour until Brazos Valley this morning. This line is working its way on out of here. Nothing is severe warned at the moment. What I'm going to do is stop our stream so I can go get ready and forecast and talk to our producers, all that good stuff that I was saying earlier. So again, most of us, it's going to be rumbly, it's going to be noisy, it's going to be rainy, but everything is sub-severe at the moment, and it is on its way out of the Brazos Valley. So we will end our stream here. We will be on air with the latest at 4:30, and if anything squirrely pops up before that, I will be back on stream and or back on air, whichever one it warrants. But I'm going to go get ready for the show and make sure that I am giving you guys the best forecast I can, not only about what to expect the rest of the morning, but what to expect the rest of the week. So thank you guys again for hanging around with us. Almost a 4-hour live stream now. We truly do appreciate you guys sticking with us and trusting us. And with that, I hope we all can get some sleep, including myself, after BVTM. But again, appreciate you guys watching. Y'all have a great rest of your very late night, very early morning, and we will catch you on the next one.